All right, all right. Sorry about that. Let's just check and make sure that is working. Check, check. All right, all right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's LEWKIE Super! All right. Sorry to disappoint if anyone out there was expecting a puppet today from myself. I don't have any puppets, and I'm not anti-puppet. I know there are certain people out there who are anti-puppet, and Jesus Christ, where's my coffee? Here it is. Holy shit, I thought I forgot my coffee, and I was about to wreck shit. But where was I? Yeah, I'm not anti-puppet whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I love that fucking puppet. I got up this morning and I'm used to watching BeDabbler live, and I recognize that he's not going live today because he's down in Florida wrapping up the Largo, Florida WATP event. So I was like, you know what, Stevie Lou, maybe there's some people out there that want to talk to you. And I think you are, and we are doing it, as they say in the industry. Let's check in with my people real fucking quick. Look at this. Michaela is like, take your time, dog. Just do what you got to do. It's Saturday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do. So you going to get high, Stevie. And I think that's a fucking really good idea, Michaela. That's what you said. That is what Michaela said. And I have to listen to Michaela. Michaela wants to know, to Flat Cat Jess, how is Florida treating you? And I don't want to, get into people's personal business too much, but looks like Flat Cat was down there visiting some family. She did post that on the interwebs. That is public information. So if it's public information, then we could use it against her and fucking use it against her, Michaela. Fucking show that fucking idiot. You troll her. That's right. How's Florida treating you? That's what we do on the internet. That's how we do it. Holy shit. This is crazy. Stevie, how dare you put that picture up of me when I was only mildly sober as your thumbnail? Holy shit. 2K, the amazing, is upset. Let's see if I could show you folks what's going on here. That was my thumbnail today. don't want to break the fourth wall here, but I Googled stoned Muppet, and it was the lead singer of Dr. Teeth, and then that guy. So I was like, everybody knows fucking Dr. Teeth. Might as well go with that stoner Muppet there. See what we got going on. Oh, yeah, look at this. Holy shit, I am seeing now. I did get a 2K is upset with your thumbnail. He says cease and desist. I did get a super chat. So that is how I super chat here. Thank you very much for the $2, 2K. If anybody else wants to send me any notes, you can go to my PayPal at the Stevie Lou, or my Venmo. Just pass by at Stevie Lou 12. Follow me on Twitter. Stevie Lou is back. Follow this YouTube movement I have going on here. I'm making movements in the morning. I got morning movements coming out my butt and right to you. But this wasn't scheduled, so you're going to have to hit the notification button on my subscription tabs. Open up your membership tabs. There's a lot of stuff that you have to do if you want to be a YouTube viewer. You got to be cool, okay? That's another rule, is you got to be cool. Are you being cool? What is wrong with me? I don't even know what that means. Flat Cat Jessica, my moderator, says, my favorite Stevie is the non-works Stevie. I guess maybe that's a reference to I ain't got no job. I ain't got shit to do. Oh, here he is. Again, he's the only puppet that matters. Okay, fair enough. I'll leave it at that. All right. Hashtag PLM. If someone could help me understand what that means. I don't. And look at this again. Obnoxious John is understanding that I've maybe stepped on some toes here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to I'm going to send OJ the link. No obligation whatsoever, buddy, to come on. But I guess you probably are maybe bored today because you don't have your usual show, which I do love, that 10 a.m. Saturday joint. Give me 1 sec while I'm scrolling through. How the fuck do I send a message? Okay. Oh, I got my keyboard here. I would love to get OJ on just to bullshit and maybe talk some topics, because I have some topics. This is a show. We're doing a show here. Sent the link out to OJ. If anybody else wants the link, let me know. We can see what we could do. But yeah, he did go live for a while last night. So, okay, yeah. OJ says he could jump on, which is great. And yes, Michaela, great point. This is all like Saturday morning cartoons for adults. You've got some animated characters like myself here going on with some crazy antics for your enjoyment on the weekend. This really is more or less Hanna-Barbera. But let's start off the show with a slightly serious note, I guess. I did want to get this out of the way. I just wanted to send a sincere, heartfelt my condolences to Chrissy Mayer and the Mayer family. Her husband, Frank. I know she's got Frank's family there, I'm sure, is also affected by that tragedy that happened to her that she, brought to public this week. That was horrible news to hear, man. And I'm never going to sit here and try to make light of that. I'm sorry. I don't have that nasty bone in my body for her and her people. And honestly, I don't think I could ever use that against someone, even if I didn't like them. I think that there are lines in this whole fucking universe, this whole shit talking, trolling, entertainment game. There are lines, and that's one that I'm not going to cross. I was, and I don't know if this is going to upset anybody, and I hope it doesn't. But it came up the other day on another show that I was on. Being weird about it, and I was kind of just quiet there. I didn't want to jump on that whole thing. And I'm not going to say that, Chad's a terrible person because he did that, you know. Chad's done plenty of terrible things in the past to prove that he's a shithead. So it's like, you know, Chad's gonna Chad on that one. But I did not want to participate in any sort of like, you know, taking light of that. So again, this is not like me trying to virtue signal at all here too. It's just something I wanted to get out there. Secondly, I guess I got an arm update. I know enough people are really clamoring about that. I went to the orthopedist on Tuesday, and we took the cast off that I had on, and right now we're down to just an ace bandage, which seems like a good thing. The doctor explained that the fracture that I have is very common and does not need much to heal. The ulna bone is really not a support bone. It's kind of more for, I think, function, which I've noticed very much so. Everything is painful. Everything is painful that you're doing with your left hand. I'm fortunate that it's getting better, but right now we're like getting some of the worst weather that you could ever get. The seasonal weather in New York City is horrible, and I do honestly think that that's having like a negative effect on the rickety nature of my shit. So my appetite's been absolutely shit. I'm having a lot of trouble keeping regular meals because I can't make them myself, can't clean up after myself. I also just don't have the appetite. The pain is enough of a problem still, and I'm not taking any painkillers. I'm just taking Tylenol and smoking the reefa. So that's been a bitch, man. I've had a real problem sleeping lately. I've been waking up every night. I don't think I've had a solid night's sleep since it's happened, which is bad. It takes its toll on you. I also have like not stopped working the whole time, which is a kind of a bitch. I'm kind of forced with my job, the way it's set up, where I'm working on a lot of commissions, that I kind of had to keep working. I was working on the ambulance. Like while I was in the ambulance, I was still getting shit done. So fortunately it's mostly on the phone and on a tablet. So I'm pretty good with that with one hand. But more importantly, it's like I've got a special effects job that I had, you know, a paid special effects gig starting in 2 weeks that I had signed up for earlier this year. And now I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do here? I spoke to the director about everything. He knows the situation. He's a good friend of mine. So we're going to work through it. I'm still in. Hopefully in 2 weeks, I'll actually have even much more mobility. Like the good thing is that my hand's moving fine. I have no problem moving the hand. It's twisting it at all is very tough. And then raising it up above, I cannot raise this above my head right now. I don't know much about skeletal systems, but apparently that bone is really important with the turning, and it's just real tough. So spoke to the director. He said we're going to have a lot of hands on deck to kind of be my hands if needed. And I still have one very good hand, and hopefully the other is at the point where I can do things with it, because special effects practical work is very, hands-on. So you forget all this shit when you break a bone, how much it sets you back. Michaela, I heard it's called the Billy Club injury from police beating with batons. It's called a nightstick fracture. You are more or less correct. It's called a nightstick fracture. As a matter of fact, my doctor was like this young guy, probably in his late 20s. And he was so psyched to tell me that the textbook calls it a nightstick fracture. And it's called that because it was a common defensive posture that you'll take when a nightstick is coming to crack you, when they used to do that sort of thing. The old wood shampoo is what I believe the the common nomenclature is the wood shampoo. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. You need more weed, Steven. Jimmy the Lip. I got a pretty good one right here. What is this? This is strawberry. This is strawberry something, and it's really good. It's not strawberry something. Actually, I'll tell you right now. I got the list here. This is in my mouth. This is good shit. Strawberry boba, as in boba tea. This is really delicious, and it's got me feeling nice and relaxed right now. Oh, shit. Okay, looks like I'm buffering a little bit. The connection here in New York may not be the greatest today because of the rain. Oh, yeah, it says I'm at medium right now on my... It's usually high. Okay, well, we can take down some stuff real quick, close some tabs, see if that helps, and then we'll continue along. Yeah, let me close some of these spreadsheets. I got my spreadsheets open. I got my spread ass sheets open. Jesus. All right. Hopefully that works. I turned my Wi-Fi off on my phone too. I'm like, Scotty over here. Captain, can't do it. I just don't have the power. All right. Thank you very much, John Doe, for checking in. I need you folks. This is a one-man organization, although I do have two mods, Balls Deep and Flat Cat Jessica. I guess I should say it the other way around because it's ladies first, and she was the first mod. She was the first woman mod in space. That's what we call that here. So, yeah, look at this. Jesse James, who's a famous outlaw. The outlaw Jesse James says there'll be riots in the streets if this broadcast goes down. Yeah. Well, all right. It's going down. It's going down indeed. I guess I'll get, now that I got some of my things out of the way here, I guess we could touch briefly on a hot topic that's coming up right now with Patrick Melton and the NLO Discord. Maybe I can just try to clear up some minor stuff that I was trying to say when I called in this week and was kind of shut down. I will also say right now that Patrick did reach out to me privately last night, and we did have a dialogue. So I kind of fell asleep early while we were like talking, and we didn't finish our conversation. And I do feel that I owe it to him, and maybe we can have a mutual discussion here about what's happening. So I'm not going to get into that stuff that's being talked about privately. I'm not going to even get really much into what's going on because this is not something I'm doing for content. Okay. You guys can call bullshit on that all you want, but this was not something that I meant to do for content. Okay. I did this because I have personally, Stevie Lou, have had some not only weird, but borderline fucked up things occur to me in his Discord. Okay. So when he was saying that, hey, listen, this kind of stuff will never happen on my Discord, all I was doing the other day was trying to call up and tell him my own personal experience. Didn't want to hear it, and I get it. That's fine. It's his show, so he can do as he wishes. And hold on. Now that I got my man OJ just jumped right in, buddy. How are you, pal?
You had me on the edge of my seat. You said you had some sort of announcement. You started talking about Patrick Melton and Discord. And then you decided not to tell us about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I'm not doing a lot of this stuff. Not everything I do is for a work. It's not for a show. Sometimes these things do affect me personally. And this is a situation with my significant other where things have gotten to the point where she's gotten upset and scared because she has been made aware and has seen it, her image being, not only passed around, sometimes negative things have been said about her. And like, I get it. I've tried to tell this to her too. This is something that can't be controlled, and it's going to happen. And, it sucks that it's happening to her. It sucks that it's, happening to me lesser because I'm out there. But she was never a part of this world, never wanted to be. I've never said her name on air. Yeah, I did mention that I am married and then was having an issue. But, I just, it fucks up.
Do you regret mentioning that?
I mean, I like to be real. That's the thing. Like, I'm the realest Stevie Lou, the real Stevie Lou. I remember going back to like 2021 when I first started popping up more on the radar. Like, Bob Levy was saying, that Stevie Lou guy, he's all right because he's real. He don't fuck around. And I like a guy who's a straight shooter who doesn't fuck around. So I don't know how I would have been able to hide that. Because you know what, OJ? I was actually, for a few weeks, if not a month or so, I was not saying anything about my wife and I going through hard times. And when she would come up, I would try to brush it off. And I felt icky and I felt insincere. And I did not feel like I was doing the right thing when I would do that. So eventually there was this one famous episode where Gustav was talking about apartments. And I chimed in and I was like, I might actually need an apartment soon because I'm going through something. And that's all it took. That's what broke the dam down,
Right. I mean, hey, I don't know. You got more balls than me. You're on here with your real face and talking about your real life. See, I decided, to try not to bring in anything from my real life because of exactly the reason and the things you're going through.
Now, and I'm not trying to like encourage this whatsoever. I'm just asking you personally, and I don't know this at all. That's why I'm asking. Do you think people do know your name out there? Like,
oh yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's probably because of something that you have public facing that eventually just got matched or whatever, or maybe you slipped or something, or
no, I there's really nothing on the internet about me, like, other than my name. Whatever laws I got in trouble for in the past, I've had my record expunged. And I've never really had social media, so never got into like the Facebook or any of that shit.
Yeah, I was big into Facebook for a long time. I was like a Facebook whore in like 2015, 2016 when I was first starting comedy. Especially, I was posting all the time.
I mean, yeah, sure. I've had Facebooks, but I was never like that dude to like, hey, I remember, when Facebook was like, hey, look at me, I'm eating here. Everybody posting pictures of where they're eating, and I was repulsed by all that shit. So I never. There may be one or two pictures of me floating out there, but
yeah, and it's like people's information is out there, and yes, the internet's it's pretty easy to track things down, but it's not about having the information out there. It's what you're doing with that information. If you're like passing around things like kind of being devious with other people's info, that's not cool. If you're like making jokes, and again, like a joke to one person may be crossing the line to other people, but I've seen people go, hey, Stevie, people found your wife's social media. That's your fault. That's her fault. Like, you can't argue against that because she has social media. And it's like, all right, fine. And like that same person, I was able to what I did is I took their profile picture on their Twitter. I back searched it on Google image search, and I found their LinkedIn. And I know their name and what they do and everything. There's one person who was like, you put that out there, so it's your fault now. I now have all of their information, and it's like someone who we all know, and I'm not going to do a fucking single thing with it because I'm not a cunt, and I don't try to hold people's personal information over their head because I think that's crossing the line. And that's not having fun. And that's not part of like, you know, us fucking with each other and breaking balls. That's like where you're almost maybe doing some borderline criminal shit, you know? And like, that was really one of my main points about Nobody Likes Onions. And I do owe him a phone call before I go further with anything. That's the only thing I'm saying, is that I'm not the kind of fucking content whore who wants to like turn this into a big back and forth with Patrick. I want to actually talk to him like a person to person, because I feel I can, you know. But at the end of the day, there's a guy that's a moderator on his Discord who in other Discords has been perpetrating some borderline criminal behavior. And like, what is there? Maybe he's not doing it in your Discord, but a moderator for Patrick's Discord is absolutely coordinating to do shady shit to other people as a troll. You know, he goes under the blanket of trolling, you know? And like, sorry, OJ, if you're intentionally broadcasting shit porn or gag porn on another live stream intentionally without another person's, you know, willingness, that's, I think, a crime in some states, you know? So it's like, you can't have it both ways where you say, I run a clean house over here and no one's allowed to do anything here, we shut it down. That's true. I have seen that Patrick and his moderator team mostly run a very clean ship and will shut down any doxing or sketchiness. But what's also true is one of his moderators is a well-known piece of shit on the internet and does borderline fucked up things because he like drinks and he gets blacked out and then forgets the next day that he's done these things.
Hey, who doesn't do that?
True. So
no, but oh yeah, I only know of this stuff from what I'm hearing. From when there's someone in your chat even said that it wasn't necessarily on Patrick's site. Nobody Likes Onions.
Right. But like, that's the thing. So like, so someone could fuck with you on another Discord, but then come over to the Patrick Melton Discord and be a person in power and be like, oh, nothing. I didn't do anything. What's he talking about? And that's what a troll does. Like, a troll will fuck with you and then deny it, because that's what trolls do. And like, I have a situation that I can show you proof that one day this specific person that I'm talking about, and it's Ian Hawk, if anybody thinks I'm not trying to say his name, he was invited to come on BYB, and he was a whole show sitting there like the cat ate the canary, and then near the end, suddenly he porn bombed us. And then he tried to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I accidentally did that to you, you know? And we were all like, dude, come on. You know, like, you were good for 3 hours, and then finally at the end, you claimed that a button, your finger slipped, and you porn bombed us. It's like, dude, you're a fucking scumbag. This is what you get off on. This is what you try to like brag about in other Discords about. Because I used to be in this Dabble story in Discord, and this motherfucker Ian Hawk and these guys fucking Frank, they were doing absolute borderline illegal harassment of Joey C and fucking other streamers for fun. That's what they think is fun. And like, that's something that I never really thought was fun. That's something that when BYB started to like fuck with Joey C, I was kind of like, this is not fun to me. This is not what I came here to do. So I don't, you know, like, I'm gonna maybe not be on the show as much.
Devil's advocate.
Absolutely.
Here. Absolutely. Now, if you have Ian Hawk on, and if you invite him onto any stream, shouldn't you be expecting to get porn bombed? I mean, that's kind of,
I guess, yeah, exactly. And it's like, if you have Ian Hawk as your Discord moderator, shouldn't you expect to get some blowback about that? Because that guy is a known emotional drunkard child, you know, and who fucks around on the internet. So again, that's what I'll stand by. And if people want to argue that Ian Hawk is actually a good guy who doesn't do anything sketchy on the internet, I've seen it a completely different way. And I've heard him say shit on voice chats. And now that's another thing. People go, well, the voice chat really isn't part of the Discord. There's no way to control that. Yes, sure. I get it. But, you know, that guy was saying some personally weird shit about my wife on the Dabble story in Discord. And like, honestly, like, I don't want to get into the whole real details about why he was mad at me and what was also going on the Discord to fucking try to take me down at the time by other people. There is so much more shit to this that I'm not even going to drag up right now until I talk with Patrick, or don't talk with Patrick. I honestly could give a flying fuck rat's ass if he gets completely nuclear over this and never wants to contact Stevie Lou again. That's fine. I could give a fuck less. But if we do want to have a fucking conversation about this, and I can bring in some more detail, because it's crazy, some of the shit that goes on over there. And that's my phone call to him the other day that got shut down. I just said, hey, man, you're saying that my Discord doesn't do this, my Discord doesn't do that. And all I'm saying is that maybe you don't have the greatest grasp of what really happens in your Discord. And he lost his mind on that and shut it down.
So what is your goal, like, to get Ian taken off of?
I got no goals like that, because I these people linger and continue to try to drag this shit out with me, you know, after I've honestly, dude, I've moved on. I just made a phone call the other day just to say something.
People are trying to take you down. Do you think people are literally trying to take you down? This is all seriously news to me.
Like, man, I could send you the screenshot of the messages that I was getting in November from another Melton Discord person that was saying, hey, man, this one female in the Discord right now is accusing you of sexual harassment. And I'm like, what? Like, excuse me? You know, like, yeah, like right now there's this weird little fucking rogue thing going on. This is back in November. This is another female who's like, these people have been kind of acting weird towards me. And right now you're being accused of sexually harassing a member of NLO's Discord. So I was like, oh, what? Let's get to this. Come on. I had to like approach that because that's 100% false. And the kind of shit that could get me in trouble. You know what I mean? Like this whole doxing thing. I got a guy right now who's posting where I work. You know, he's figured out my job. You know, I knew that was eventually going to happen. And now, like, a guy who's harassed me in the past is now mentioning my job on Twitter.
Wow, that sucks.
You know, so it's like, that's again crossing the line. And that's the kind of people that I know Ian is in contact with, and they like work to try to fuck with me and do shit like that, John. So I know this. I've seen it again. And like, these are the kind of troll things that they'll never stand up. I have the screenshots though, doggy. You know what I mean? Like, so it's
what is his vendetta? Why would he want to do this to you?
Yeah. Like, I think it's really an indictment of like how parasocial internet relationships have just completely scrambled some people's brains. You know, I know that guy specifically, and I don't want to get into like his issues, but I know Ian Hawk had an issue with another female internet person a few months ago before this all, where he got really like personally overinvested in another female, and it all blew up in his face. So it's kind of like, oh wow, yeah, that guy can't control himself. He's got issues. He's known to drink a whole bottle of Jack Daniels and brag about it, you know, and then like say, oh man, last night I got so drunk I started doing this and that, you know, and like the next day just laughing it off, where like I don't know. That's fucking weird shit to me. And I think it's just a sign of further mental illness for people, you know, undiagnosed mental illness. You know, I'm sure Ian Hawk could probably use someone to talk to at the end of the day. And he doesn't have that person to talk to. So this is how he lashes out. This is how he, you know, copes. So,
jeez, I didn't know this war was this serious.
How is this serious? I'm trying to help the guy. If anything, do you hear me, dude? I'm not like insulting this guy. I'm like taking an honest. I'm taking an honest,
taking a shot at his drinking, his online dating, and his hillbilly accent. Apparently.
Okay, you may got me. You may have me here, and yeah, then you'll see. You know. The hardline NLO Discord people.
No, but you're angry, right? So this guy, he's doing things to you, maybe doxing people in your life and where you work, and you're not appreciating that. I get it.
Yeah, because that's crossing the line, you know. And I want to know, where did I cross the line at any point? Like, I've had people accuse me of crossing the line, and that's one of those like ghost light, gaslight, straw man things. where like I got somebody who was like, oh, Stevie Lou has personally harassed me and my family before. And I'm like, okay, show that proof then, because that's not proof. That's not true. And if you have that, then prove it. And I've never ever seen one piece of proof.
Did you not also? I'm playing devil's advocate here, Steve.
Go ahead.
Did you not tag Ray DeVito's, the stand where he works? Maybe and
the reason why I did that was because the night that I did that, he was going on air, and he was saying Stevie Lou is not someone who is known at all at the stand. He was on air, so this was a response to Ray saying Stevie Lou's a no one who has no place. You
also
ever
threatened Ray physically.
Yeah, I threatened Ray because he kept saying
I was scared for Ray because I know
Ray. Okay, let's back that up. Why? But why did I just out of the blue threaten Ray, or was he saying shitty stuff about my wife over and over again?
Okay, sure. You can. We all have excuses for our actions.
And all I said was like, Ray, this is the kind of shit that you wouldn't say to my face. That's all I said.
Some people would consider that crossing the line.
I said, like, what? Talking about someone's wife, like
physically threatening violence.
Someone's workplace. But it went like this. It went like this. I said, Ray, you keep talking about me and my wife on air. You would not talk this way to my face. Is that fair to say, or is that a threat?
That you could justify it, but I'm just making the point that sometimes people cross lines.
It's borderline. Yeah, it's like that. See, there is a situation. Let me try to break this down, and I'm not. This is cool. I'm fucking totally okay with this. There's the line, and by me saying, Ray, you wouldn't say this to my face, that was me stepping up to the line and almost crossing it by saying, hey, man, you wouldn't say this to me personally. And then when he kept going, I crossed the line and said, I'll see you at the stand, motherfucker. That's where the line was crossed. Okay. And I'll admit that I did that.
The wife stuff that he was bringing up
was
they weren't jokes, but he was trying to prove a point to you. He was telling you that you were sensitive. And by doing that,
no, he wasn't. He was saying that I don't have my life together. That's what that was about. That wasn't about me being sensitive. He tried to say that it was about me being sensitive, but it wasn't. It was about him saying that I don't have my shit together. And I was like, Ray, you live with your fucking, we know his situation.
Right.
And I was like, you don't have any ground to stand on saying that I don't have my shit together coming out of your mouth. So then he was like, well, look at your wife. Huh? A guy who's never had a fucking relationship in his adult life is making fun of me for having, and he's met her too. We hung out with him before. So it's not like he don't know her and shit like that. And that's where I was also like, what are you doing, dude? Because my wife came back to me about that. She saw that whole shit and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Like, I thought we were like, she literally was like, why is this guy Ray DeVito talking shit about me? When we met, there was no problem. We were fine. I'm just like, all right, I can't really explain Ray to you, sweetheart. But it's another thing.
Is like fucking reality TV, man.
It is. And it's like sometimes we are performing and it is performative. And sometimes it does become like a real life thing, Okay. Let's see. I
didn't mean to take you off track.
No, this is good. This was good, man. I think this is actually probably what people look. See, even Stefan M is saying, whoa. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, another thing that I could bring up, and this is great to have you here, that I'm like not getting into much, but I've been noticing that my lost interest has been clipping a lot of BYB lately. And it seems that BYB has kind of devolved into a show that just talks about Stevie Lou. Or at least spends a lot of time talking about Stevie Lou. And it seems to be mostly negative stuff coming out of that camp these days. Whereas I know I'm bringing it up now, but we're going to touch on this real briefly and move on. And it's not something that I'm, playing clips about, spending blocks of time on. But I'll just keep it at this, is that I'm going to continue to take the high road in this situation. and not go down that shit talk, trying to fucking turn things your way at all. And that's how I am on this one. And I will continue to just take the high road. And I think that's a good way to be in life sometimes, when you maybe have a separation from a relationship, professional, or relationship, personal.
Why do you think everyone is so, I guess, mad at you right now? Why? I mean, you and BYB, you guys had a show together at one point, and you guys were
Yeah, I mean, well,
boys.
to be honest, like, and again, I don't want to get into the personal stuff, but
I don't
back in,
understand why everybody is so mad at Stevie
here's
Lou
the
right
thing, yeah.
now. Why
Back
do you
in the-
think it is? I mean,
it's weird. It's because people are looking to get attention, and they see me getting it. Like, I was Stevie Views just a few weeks ago, and it's like people see Stevie Views, moving up the ladder, leaving them behind maybe, and they're like, "Fuck, we gotta hold on. How could we somehow grasp on while this guy, they're basically riding coattails,
jealousy.
It could be a little bit of weirdness and jealousy, and I wasn't trying to have it like that, man. But I guess I can't control that, But yeah, I'll continue to take the high road there, and like back in November when things started to get tough for me, I told Quadfather and the group, I'm not going to be on for every episode. I cannot do 3 days a week for fucking 3 hours. I never wanted to do that. I tried my best to be there when I could, but I told them things are getting difficult for me at home, and they're going to be difficult for me, and I'm not going to be here all the time anymore. I hope you know that. I hope you're cool. That was fine. And now suddenly they're doing shit like, oh, he wasn't even showing up all the time. That's Quad's thing, is that, like, and now he's trying to use that against me, even though I made it very, very fucking specifically clear that I was not going to be able to spend fucking 3 days a week with them. So it's just this weird shit that, like, these guys are going into the mud for absolutely no reason, when I very much clearly stated my intentions and how things were working. And we had very much differences of opinion on some certain things. When certain people were attacking Quadfather's daughter, that was a problem. When people were attacking Lemmy's kid, that was a problem. When people are attacking my wife, it's not a problem. I don't understand how that works out. You know what I mean? And like Quadfather, the reason why I know he has a daughter, he's brought her up online on here on these shows. The reason why I know Lemmy has a kid, she's brought him up on here. The reason why they know I have a wife is because I brought him up here. So it's like rules for you and rules for me. That's not how Stevie Lou likes to rock. That's when Stevie Lou says, I'm going to do my own thing. You know what? What everyone else has been telling me might be right. Maybe I am better off going on my own. And I wish them the best, man. I really want them to excel and do their thing. But to a certain extent, okay. And all right, I said I wasn't going to do this, but it's too late, I guess. I was fucking carrying that show from absolute obscurity. I was the one who was mentioning that I was going on BYB when I was on the bigger shows. I was the one who was bringing in the bigger guests when I could. I was the one, I know, like, Quad was working on it a lot himself, but as they grew, Stevie Lou was the person who was the driving factor in building that show. And if they want to fucking now turn on me and be cunts, it's not going to bother me, dude. I'm just going to keep doing it. So.
Have you communicated this to them, or is this the first time?
Well, here's the thing with Quadfather, man. I used to text him and call him, but now I got him blocked because the most recent communication I had with him, I thought I was talking to him person to person, not for air, and he's taking shit to air. So once that happens with me and a person, man, you've lost all goodwill with me, and you are not a trustworthy person anymore. So Quadfather used to be like a associate and someone I trusted.
Hey, he's a stand-up guy.
All right. I know what you just did there, But yeah, at that point, man, once he starts taking shit that was kind of just talked about privately and held up against me, he's been doing a lot of fucking sketchy shit the past couple of weeks, and he's accusing me of doing sketchy shit. And it's like, all right, buddy, all right. And I'm not going to get into some flaming war with them. They can just keep doing their thing, doing their show. And listen, they're getting clipped now because they're talking about Stevie Lou. Let's just be very clear. If you go on My Lost Interest, there are no BYB clips on there of anything else besides them talking about me. So I don't know. What is, I guess. But I'm sure this will get clipped and played on there as well. So hi, Quadfather. Hi, Quadfather's lawyers. And again,
So,
look, I see this here. This is another guy who's been fucking. I guess he's now on this Ian Hawk fuck Stevie Lou team because he's been tweeting at me that I'm a bitch and I'm all this. But I'm not trying to take that as a win, man. Like, if anybody sees it differently, that I wasn't the one dragging BYB up the hill for the past year, then fuck. Maybe I do have mental illness as well.
I mean, I've always been a fan of yours, Stevie Lou. I've been a fan of Quadfather also. So I don't know. I think both of you guys were doing it on that show. So I don't know.
We cook a little bit, and that's the whole reason why I even took that show on in the first place, man. I was doing mostly Ski Mask Collective, and then I saw those guys start to beef with the FGTZ camp, and I thought it was kind of funny. And I was like, I like these BYB guys. And then they offered me to start coming on all the time, so I did absolutely understand that there was some talent and some good fun to be had, and we did have a lot of good times. But man, that whole thing where he's like, he's not even coming on anymore, he stopped coming on all the time. I had other commitments that were more important than BYB. And if anybody is going to try to act like this podcasting bullshit needs to be prioritized over life events, they've got their priorities fucked themselves. So
there's no making amends in the near future.
I was just on air with Chad Zumach this week. I was on air with Pat Dixon for a long time. I think there's always room for that sort of thing, but to see where they're going, BYB, like, why would I make amends with someone who's been continuing to just drag things out and really muddy things worse? Trying to say like that their story of why I left is very much not, it's got a lot of holes in it. And, I'd love to have a guy like Bobby Nick on right now, who's still, I think, technically part of BYB, because I think Bobby is one of the only guys that would see my perspective and back me up here on some of the things I'm saying, whereas the whole other crew is going to go fuck Stevie Lou. He caused all this. That's what I keep hearing out of like people like Lemmy. This is all Stevie's doing. He's a drama whore and he's a drama queen. And it's like, all right.
What is the reason that they're giving that you're hearing?
It's not like, even Michael Gavin Ali asked them yesterday. That was like one of my favorite moments. I did check it out when Michael Gavin Ali was like, what's the problem here? And then Quadfather kind of goes, habida bibida babida bibida. It was here, man. Ski Mask was going after my wife specifically. And I said in the chat, I said, hey guys, right now, Ski Mask is personally attacking my wife. If anybody is supporting that sort of shit, I can't have that. That's all I said. I didn't say, don't go on Ski Mask show. No one ever do anything with Ski Mask. All I said is that this is what's going on right now, and I can't be cool with that. And if you guys want to be cool with that, we can't really all be cool then anymore. That's really all that it was. And they were like, oh, so I got out. I got out then. I didn't give them an ultimatum, but I said, this is how I feel. They disagreed with me. The next day, I moved on. That was it. I didn't create a scene. I didn't flip a table over. I didn't smash a desk. Okay? I said, Ski Mask is crossing the line by attacking my wife personally. If you guys are cool with Ski Mask while he's doing that.
So it would be fair to say you feel a little betrayed by your friends for not kind of having your back.
Not only betrayed by my friends, betrayed by friends who I had their back when their family members ever got involved. Because I say always, that's a line that you shouldn't cross. Okay? So, it's unfortunate that this is where our fucking universe has gotten. I really do think that the whole bringing up people who are not part of the universe, if you want to become a guy, if you want to be a gal, whatever the female version of that, and you want to start streaming, you want to start clipping and being an active commenter and, try to influence this sphere, then you're able to be targeted personally. That's no one can control that, and I'm fine with that. But to then go towards people's family members, jobs, life in general, it's no good, man.
I'm definitely not a fan of any of that sort of shit.
Yeah, so we could agree with that, and let's try to move on to.
And at the end of the day, I think maybe possibly some of this could be lack of communication. I think this isn't anything a phone call couldn't solve between you guys. I know you and Quad go back a little ways, so I don't know. It's usually
I personally I need some time away. I need to cool the fuck off.
There you go.
So I will continue to do that, and maybe in a little bit of time I can come to a place, because honestly, buddy, I can't even get into it. The amount of shit that I've got stacked up against me in my personal life right now. And I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for sorrow. I just got a lot of shit that I'm fucking having to deal with. So when I fucking find out that another thing is going to get added to the top of that pile and it's a podcast issue, I'm like, I'd rather just not have to deal with this shit right now and maybe come back to it later, because I got too much more shit to shovel, So, all right. This is going to get real weird right now. This is a topic that I've never brought up on this show, and I think the fans are really going to like to hear this.
All right.
We're going to talk about Keanu. Yep, we're going to talk about Keanu.
Okay.
This is going to get real uncomfortable for some people, because I know there's a lot of Keanu fans out there. But I got something to say about Keanu right now. All right. I got to see The Matrix on the big screen this week for the first time in my life.
Nice. How ironic. I watch reaction videos sometimes when I'm bored, and this morning I watched about 10 minutes of a father and son from England watching The Matrix.
The first one? The original Matrix?
The original one, yeah.
They must have been just shitting themselves. The kid was probably, right? Was it? I mean, I got to see this now.
I only watched about 10 minutes of it.
Okay. No. Getting tomatoes thrown at me. It looks like, look at this. Oh, boy. Yeah. Waka Waka. Where's my Fonzie? Fozzie Bear. Anyway, so I did get to see The Matrix in theaters. It's like the 25th anniversary. I guess it was released March 31st, 1999. So AMC Movies had a big screen showing in the Dolby theater, like in Manhattan. They've got some special Dolby enhanced sound spots. So I had the one where you have the reclining seat, massive big screen. A friend of mine and I went and got super fucking high. Like, we went for the world record as far as smoking before a movie for this one. We walked in and sat down, and dude, it may have been the most enjoyable movie experience of my life. Like, wow. I honestly can't describe the butterflies and the absolute giddy nature that I felt the entire time seeing it on the big screen, because I've seen, and I said it on a tweet earlier this year, I've regretted all of my life that I never saw the original Matrix on the big screen when it was out first in 1999. I know you and I are around the same age range, right?
Older.
A little older. So did you remember seeing that in theaters?
I did not see that one in theaters. I stopped going to theater. I don't go to theaters very often, and I haven't since the 90s.
Nonetheless,
but you made me think of when I went with my grandfather to see Die Hard when it first came out in Dolby surround sound. I think that was the first big movie that had Dolby surround sound.
First Die Hard?
Yeah, the original Bruce Willis.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the John McTiernan classic, man. Love that one. But yeah, the Matrix film, I've seen it probably 100 times on a regular screen. That's something I used to watch fucking every night for a while, like a crazy person. And seeing it for the first time on the big screen was something that I soaked it in much more and started to notice some things for the first time that I never noticed before. And like that movie is so multi-layered and full of little Easter eggs that like I'm catching for the first time. But besides that, holy shit, Carrie Ann Moss Trinity is so stunningly gorgeous and beautiful in that film that seeing it on the big screen is like breathtaking. I mean, yeah, she's wearing like the leather daddy stuff the whole time and has like a very sort of like 2000, she's got the short hair, but holy shit, when she's got someone on screen up against her like Keanu Reeves, who is one of the most beautiful men alive. I'll just say that, I'm whoa, right? To have to go up against that, man, Carrie Ann Moss, just absolutely,
she was badass.
Fine,
Yeah, she was great.
And then, the whole first half of the Matrix, even though the second half is where all the action, stuff comes in, the lead up until the pill scene is just like a mastercraft in storytelling. And there's just like no breaks. It just keeps pulling you along. And I was like, honestly had a smile from ear to ear for the first half of the film. And then I said to myself, I have a feeling that I am going to get emotional here. I don't know why. I do get kind of emotional with film. I'm the guy who cries at the end of Field of Dreams every fucking time. Every fucking time I watch that film, I'll start fucking bubbling up. But I did get choked up, man. I got choked up and it was fucking crazy. I mean, do you want to maybe try to guess what scene could have possibly got me choked up?
There could be two, I would say. When I'm going with my gut says when he gets killed and comes back. She's like,
I love you. I love you. Yeah. Because the Oracle told me that. Spoiler alert. That the Oracle told me that I would love the one. That wasn't the one, man. But that's a very good guess. I knew that would be what you'd think.
Or my second guess would have been when he started to believe before that scene.
So another great guess, and this is a very abstract, and this is probably a little bit of like an insight into my mind and where I am right now in my life. It was the spoon scene. Wow, like the kid telling him that it's like I'm about to get like choked up right now. Like I was like so shook by the like just how it hit me, like that little kid, like that's something that it never hit me when I was young. And I'm like going through life, experiencing 25 years of life after seeing that for the first time. I'm getting like a little tight right now thinking about like that concept, that like religious, spiritual concept is something that I've never really had in my life, man. And man, just like trying to face life is a challenge. And we're all a little bit of Neo inside of ourselves, and it's like you can come to your potential. Everyone can come to their potential someday, even when they are told they never will. And sometimes it's like when being told that you won't ever be good.
Look at Stuttering John, that guy. He should have never made anything out of his life, and he made a lot out of it.
Well, if that was me, I would have snorted the red pill and boofed the blue pill, exactly. And asked him for 3 more. So
yeah, no, that's great. That sounds good. Speaking of Easter eggs, I just discovered one in the movie Liar Liar. Did you know that Fire Marshal Bill is in the movie Liar Liar?
No, I did not know that, but okay, break it down
Yeah.
for me.
There's a certain point, I think it's the ending, towards the end of the movie, when he's like on a gurney and there's like a bunch of police and firemen, and his wife or whoever she is shows up with somebody. In the background are a bunch of firemen, and in the background Jim Carrey plays Fire Marshal Bill.
Oh my God. Now I am old enough to remember fucking In Living Color and
Yes.
how funny Fire Marshal Bill was. Arguably,
Let me show you something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, Homie the Clown and
Love
Fire
that kind of
Marshal
shit,
Bill. I think you had to go. I think Homie the Clown at the time had a slightly larger, significant influence on culture, but Fire Marshal Bill was the funnier standout character from In Living Color. And also, holy shit, did Jim Carrey not have one of the fastest meteoric rises to stardom ever? As a matter of fact, like they filmed Ace Ventura, and like he got like I think maybe a $1.5 million sort of payday for Ace Ventura, and then his star blew up so fast that The Mask came out the same year, and he was already getting like the highest paycheck in Hollywood history at the time. You know, it was that sort of thing where he went from being a nobody to the biggest guy ever.
He was completely different. You know, it made him stick out. He was completely different than anybody else out there. And yeah, we all know he's a household name now.
Yeah, Ace Ventura like took kind of everybody by surprise because I mean, you and I would know this. This is like a very adult film that was somehow given to kids to lap up back then, because I don't really understand how that works out, because Ace Ventura is a fucked up film that has a lot of dark fucking jokes and undertones into it that like children these days would not be watching, but we were fed. And then he got The Mask, which The Mask ended up being a really dark, twisted graphic novel, an IP, we'll call it, that got, bought up. And The Mask was wildly popular because they used the CGI, but on top of the CGI, they had a lot of practical effects, which was that mask that Carrey had to have glued onto his face every day, for hours. And then that sort of shit where he sits in the makeup chair for 8 hours just to film something for 2 hours, for fucking 3 weeks straight. And his physical nature and his facial stuff is really what put him over, and then he had Dumb and Dumber followed up right after that too. So those 3 films in a row blasted him into Hollywood legend status. And then, like you even mentioned yourself, coincidentally, we had Liar Liar, came out right after that. And this is funny. This is me just going off the dome right now. I do
Don't
not
forget Cable Guy.
Yeah, right. Cable Guy. Fuck. I think it was Cable Guy first, and then Liar Liar. They came out right around the same time. Again, I do not have any research in front of me. I'm just kind of going off of my own memory here. And then I loved like his resurgence, because he then went like to do that Truman Show film where he tried to take a serious take on it. And there was like another movie that he did, like The Messenger or some shit. The Message. Fuck, I think I got that wrong. But there
the
was
one where he like forgot who he was and he went to a town and thought he was somebody else.
Yeah, that was kind of crap. And then he came back with Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah,
where he like reestablished himself as, I ain't got nowhere with this funny shit, man. I'm still the king, motherfucker. So yeah, Jim Carrey, shout out to a legend. Did you ever see that documentary that they made about him being Andy Kaufman for Man on the Moon?
No.
Oh, dude. Holy fuck. They made this documentary about how Andy Kaufman or Jim Carrey never broke character the whole time while he was filming Man on the Moon, where he was just
I've actually heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that from Jerry the King Lawler, of all people. He said that, he's like, I don't know what Jim Carrey's thinking. He was he was being an ass.
That's in the documentary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you got to watch it, because he like, and I don't want to spoil it, but like, because there's much more to it. But he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? You know, like this is like, he's not Andy Kaufman. Like, because like at one point, and I don't even want to spoil it to you, but like you really have to watch it. It is one of the most frustrating and infuriating things I've ever seen. And honestly, it like kind of ruined. He's done such a good job. He's got me fucked up now. It kind of ruined Jim Carrey's legacy for me a little bit. Besides, I mean, I guess people say that he killed his wife or something like that too. But more the Man on the Moon thing. It's just a mind bender, dude. I would suggest absolutely giving that. I forget what it's called. Just look up, Andy Kaufman, Jim Carrey documentary. It's sick. It's twisted. But yeah, I guess the reason why I brought the whole Keanu thing up is I got to thinking after The Matrix. When I walked out with my buddy, the first words out of my mouth were, that's the greatest action film of all time. I like maybe had a bit of a knee-jerk reaction. I didn't give it a hard thought that what could beat it. I mean, I think Die Hard is 100% in the conversation, a movie that was also coincidentally brought up earlier today. I think if you want to go, I think that's a list maybe for another day that I'll get into. But I did start to get thinking along those lines. What are the top films? And I stumbled on, okay, what are the top 4 Keanu Reeves action films? Because I got to thinking he's done a bunch, and he's done a bunch of good ones. So the list that I pulled up, I had, and I guess this would go in order: Point Break,
one of my all-time favorite movies.
Speed, right? The Matrix, and John Wick. So like those 4 films, I think for me are his best films. And I think also 4 films that could go on any top action film of all time list. And for me personally, I'm also someone who kind of grew up on Point Break. Point Break is another film that I used to watch all the time. It's like before I could get to The Matrix as a repeatable, rewatchable film, Point Break was that one for me as a young lad. So I guess if I'm going to go worst to first, I think I got to go John Wick is going to be in the 4 slot for me. But I will say, I love the shit out of watching John Wick, especially for the first time. I thought that the concept of the story and the way they pulled it off, the first John Wick, a first viewing is one of those what the fuck, oh my goodness moments. Doesn't necessarily have the replayability as like a Matrix, but did you know that the directors of John Wick were the stunt coordinators on The Matrix? So there is a strange little Ouroboros, Infinity Deli, or what am I saying? Thing going on there, which I thought was cool. Third, not much else to say there. 3, I would say, was Speed. And now Speed is another film that I really did enjoy as a kid. And it was a blockbuster hit. Definitely like a cultural phenomenon. What do you do? What do you do? Like everybody was saying that shit that summer. Everybody's smart ass uncle was like making a Speed parody joke that year. I just personally, I don't think that Speed, Dennis Hopper is a tremendous actor and artist. And I think
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, but I think he's like, as good as he is in that film, it just doesn't work for me in modern day. It worked back then, but nowadays I'm like, fuck, man. I've seen Dennis Hopper in such other amazing, like gritty, realistic roles. This one's bullshit. just like he kind of does the same thing for me in Waterworld. Like his role in Waterworld, it's kind of like, I mean, I guess he's a big name, he's a great actor, he's a legend. It's good that he got those roles and he got the money, but I felt like both of those roles could have been done by someone else better. I mean, for example, in Speed 2, you have Willem Dafoe as the villain, you know, and as dog shit as Speed 2 is as a movie, Willem Dafoe kills it in that shit. You know what I mean? He's a much better psycho villain, you know. So that's playing kind of like armchair quarterback on Speed, but that's where I give Speed 3. I go Point Break 2. Again, already talked much about that. You know, the whole, I think really Point Break. So here's what broke Point Break for me over Speed is that the Swayze and Reeves team co-star role beats the Hopper Reeves co-star role, and then the supporting cast, you know, you got Sandra Bullock in Speed, and then you got motherfucking Gary Busey in Point Break. So Anthony I take Kiedis. Yeah, that's it. Utah give me 2. Utah give me 2 is what really puts it over for me. And then number 1 would be Matrix for me. So
nice. Well, I'll give you. I like it. I like it. I'll give you a quick list. Mine will be 2 movies. My favorite. They won't be action. Just my favorite 2 Keanu Reeves movies, or my favorite Keanu Reeves movie and my least favorite. My least favorite would be Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. My least favorite Keanu Reeves movie.
Flat Cat's gonna kill you for this one because
my favorite would be The Devil's Advocate.
Yes, sure,
love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I mean, that one's also
Flat Cat really likes Bill and Ted's Excellent.
Yeah,
oh no,
let's see.
She's gonna hate me now.
She's gonna check in probably and say something.
She's not here. Don't tell her she's not
here. Let's try to catch up a little bit with the chat. I did like this comment though here. I just missed it here. Yeah. Joey C needs his own revenge film. You can go find those guys that kicked his door in that one day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What were you gonna say?
Did you see Joey C was at the WATP event last night, and he showed his feet. He's got real feet.
His feet. Yep. Although OJ, as someone who works in practical effects, you can make very realistic looking prosthetic feet these days.
Cardiff did touch him.
He did touch him. Okay.
He did.
Okay. Fair.
And he ran off to wash his hands.
I saw that. Yeah. Okay. Not only did I see Joey C down in Largo, Florida last night, I sent him $5 in the morning because I did see that he was looking for some help to get down there. So I wasn't trying to go public with that information, but I did see a buddy in need. So I shot him a $5, and I guess it went a long way. You know, I saw Mrs. C and him, and they really were very entertaining last night, I would say, from the few just brief moments they were on the stream. It was like, what the fuck? Yes, this is good.
I guess he showed up. Well, no, I'm gonna save some of this.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to. I'm stealing the BeDabbler time slot. I don't want to steal the content. Please do not get yourself in trouble with your boss, as I'm known to do from time to time. House on the Edge of the Park. Is that the Joey C revenge film, or is that House on the Hill? Maybe. Stefan M says exactly, Stevie Lou. I don't even know what he's agreeing with there, but I'll take it, Stefan. Thank you. Stevie is a big Morbius fan. Oh, man. Is that because I look like a vampire? Carlos Danger. All right. Yeah, I guess I wish I could get Carlos in on some movie talk.
Send him a link.
Like he could.
He loves talking movies.
Yeah, I will send him the link because to be very honest here, I am trying to just juice the viewing hours on my account here. About halfway through my quest to monetization for my view count hours. So I've noticed that the longer the stream, the better. So we're going to see how long I can run this here. Don't feel like you got to stick around for too long. OJ, I do appreciate
just my opinion. I think anything over 3 hours is too much. I think 3 hours is that's the right number. That's just my opinion.
Like I do agree with you as well. But what I have noticed recently in my quest is that the longer episodes do end up clocking more live view hours on the back end, which is what I need right now, you know? So I'm not going to sit here and
doing it for the money, all for the money and the monetization.
I mean,
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know, if I could make this thing a reality, I mean, Kevin Brennan has been so gracious all this time to support guys like me and Ray DeVito with payment to be on stream on his show. And it's really been a lifesaver for me. I've had some financial shit go on the past 8 months that have not been easy. So having to just put my head down and work as hard as I can in my real job and here to a certain extent is, you know, it's been something. So very thankful for everyone who's watching right now, who's been watching before, the folks who've sent Venmos, the folks who've sent PayPals. I've gotten a lot of support, and I thank every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. I thank people personally when they do check in, and I don't want to do the old veto where I start reading out PayPal names and Venmo names that don't want to be read out because that's not good. Look at that, Crumb Bum, lol, hot take about Hopper. I mean, yeah. I am a bigger fan of Dennis Hopper's early work. And Dennis Hopper's a guy, I don't know if you knew this, he took 10 years off, basically, the whole 70s. He stopped making film because he had a commercial flop that kind of knocked him out for a while. And he kind of went dark and then came back. And I could do a whole episode on Dennis Hopper. There's a film that most people probably never seen called Into the Blue that I watched just last summer. It's like kind of a forgotten Dennis Hopper film. I'm going to pull it up real quick. There we go. Okay. OJ, if you could vamp for me a little bit. Why don't you tell us about what shows you're on?
Well, we would be doing BeDabbling live, but the boys are out of town in Largo, Florida. I don't know if I will be doing a show tomorrow morning. I call it a show. I will be streaming.
This is a show. It'll be up later.
Right. 7 a.m. On my channel at Obnoxious John. That's about it.
Not working with Jake Hudson these days? What's going on with that?
I actually saw he went on a rampage of blocking people and telling them to go F themselves. So I went to send him a message to see if he was doing okay. And I saw that I had been blocked.
You did not survive the...
He didn't tell me to fuck myself. He didn't.
Just got blocked.
I just got blocked.
So, I mean, I love Jake, and I'm never going to sit here and try to beat up on a guy like that. But I will say he blocked me. He gave me the go fuck yourself and blocked me along with everybody else the other day. And then yesterday, without knowing, he unblocked me, told me again to go fuck myself, and then blocked me again. So I've got this thing where he now will surprise unblock, go fuck yourself, and then reblock, which is kind of impressive, to be honest. That, you know, you do got to snipe, you got to get in, get out. And as a guy who likes to box, sometimes, you know, you stick and move. And I do dig that. But okay, let me pull this up here because I had the wrong name. And I'll tell you why. The film is called Out of the Blue. Not Into the Blue. And
Stevie, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
What do you got?
So I was sent a song.
Oh,
I guess
Christ.
let's get into this Dennis Hopper, but I was sent a song made by Dang Lizard for you.
Oh, wow.
An
Okay.
AI song. So I'll
Okay.
figure out how to share that while we watch this Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to send it to me, I could.
Yeah, I
play
guess I
it.
could. I don't know how I would send it to you though, because it's just audio. It's not like a video. Twitter doesn't allow you to send audio like that.
Okay. Well, if you could share your screen.
Right. Let's do that.
This is exciting. Wow. This is like breaking sort of interactive stuff that the folks want. This is the kind of thing that happens on BeDabbling Live all the time. So, wow.
Let's get into the
Sure.
Dennis
Figure that
Hopper.
out,
I
I could ramble for a few minutes about this. So don't you worry. I got that all right. So yeah, out of the blue here. And I said into the blue because
what are you smoking over there? What's strain?
My weed cock.
You are smoking cock. It's confirmed.
The weed cock.
The weed cock.
And this is what's known as high fructose corn syrup. Look at that. High fructose corn syrup. And it's a cross between GMO and OZ Kush, not OG Kush, OZ Kush. So, what I have really adapted these days is the, dab culture. That's when you get some hash, they call it, some concentrated. Oh, here you go. We got that lined up there. So, yes, thank you for asking. What about yourself? Are you smoking on anything?
I am. I recently got a nice amount of something called Cherry Punch. And it tastes,
sounds like
smells so good.
So now what I'm going to go off of my own knowledge here is the cherry family. They got cherry pie is the big one. Anything that has a cherry on it is usually indica leaning. That's been
is a sativa.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that the punch is normally a sativa leaning. So I was going to guess hybrid and see which one. So yeah, so that's funny because just as a general, knowledge rule of thumb, the cherries are indicas, the punches are sativas. Now you'll get tropical punch, you'll get sour punch, you'll get, bubba punch, you name it. Anything that has a punch at the end is usually a sativa. Anything with a cherry is usually an indica. And if they're high, the guy over here, he's still got it. All right. We're going to pull this up here. And this is the world premiere of a song.
I haven't even heard it yet.
Yeah.
So
I guess if I have to pull the stream because of some, we'll do it.
It's only 20 seconds. So.
All right. Let's see. I'll edge the stream here. Okay.
All right. You ready?
Away. Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. The StreamYard thing is right. There we go. We can move that.
Oh, sorry. No audio. Shit.
No audio.
Yeah, hold on. Is it muted?
No.
Fuck. I didn't hear it. Can
Dang Lizard send it to Stevie?
Yeah, send it to me at Stevie Lou is back on Twitter. You see it right there. Shit. All right. I'm really excited for this. We'll figure it out one way or another. I promise. Or Dang Lizard, do whatever you want with it. But okay, let's get back to this real quick out of the blue. And, I wonder if it's because. Let's try it one more time. I'm going to remove this actually. Okay.
Oh shit. All right.
Can we try it one more time? I'm sorry, because maybe it was because that other share screen was sucking up the audio. That may be it.
I actually closed everything out, but hang on.
Okay, give it a second. And then I'll go to the chat. That's what I can do. We can always make things work. Stevie really does need to hit that reset button. he was talking about moving to California. Seems like that would be good for him. Hate to be that fake therapist guy. Wow. Thank you, Jeremy. You didn't need to add that at the end there. I do take that kindly, though. I appreciate you. Yeah, maybe I do, man. Maybe I do. And I was really on that last week. A couple people reached out. Were like, "Are you really moving to California?" And I don't know. It's kind of tough to just pick up your roots and just move. The only thing for me is like this would be the time to do it, and there'd be a lot that I'd be leaving behind. And I don't think it would be a full-time move, but a reset button move to California to me sounds like that is a decent option. So, all right, let's pull this back up one more time and give it one more shot. I don't know if this is going to go, but
are we ready?
Yes, sir. Fuck.
Not working.
No.
Oh, well. We tried.
Yeah.
Derailed the whole show.
No, this is a show. Nothing. This isn't really a show. Let's get to the chat. I kind of fell off on the chat. Crumb says, so you're just using us to boost views. Who cares about actually doing a show? Got it. That's right, Crumb. 100%.
Shame on you.
Read the book. Watch the movie. What was that in reference to? Okay, here we go. Dude on the Road. I saw it recently. It's a prerequisite for Fear and Loathing, written by Hunter S. Thompson, hero Jack Kerouac. Definitely worth a watch. Stephen M., absolutely right. I read On the Road when I was probably 19. That was one of those like hippie rites of passage. Jack Kerouac actually wrote a couple other books. There's like a trilogy. On the Road is just one of them. And off the top of my head, I think it's Big Sur. And what's the third one? Holy shit, I just had it. On the Road, Big Sur. It's called the Dolios trilogy. Someone in the chat help me out. But yeah, wonderful books. I've never seen the movie On the Road, and I guess I do kind of want to watch that. I got a bunch of shit on my plate right now to watch. I want to watch the Zack Snyder DC movies. Do you know what that is at all, OJ? Am I speaking riddles to you?
Yeah, no idea.
I figured as much. Zack Snyder is the guy who directed 300.
Okay.
You know 300. Before
Absolutely.
that, he had debuted his Hollywood debut was the Dawn of the Dead remake from like 2004, 2005 with Ving Rhames about the zombies who try to overtake the mall. But this guy Zack Snyder also did the Watchmen movie in the late 2000s, and then went on to just do all superhero films for DC, from the film Superman, I think Man of Steel it was possibly, through Batman and Superman, and then there was like another Justice League film. So I'm not a huge comic book film guy, but I do kind of like Zack Snyder, and he was on Joe Rogan this week. So that kind of got me thinking that, you know what? I've heard good things about his stuff, and I liked 300. So maybe I will give these specific.
He did Batman versus Superman.
Yes.
That movie, I guess it got a lot of bad reviews, but
bad?
I like that movie.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
And he introduced
Batman and Superman. I thought it was pretty badass.
Well, and he talked about it a little bit on Joe Rogan, which I liked, that Batman vs. Superman has a lot of the Dark Knight Returns, which is a Frank Miller version of Batman. It's a graphic novel called The Dark Knight Returns, where Superman and an older Batman meet up and have a rivalry, but they work together. So they stole a lot of shit from that story, which a lot of people love. They say that's the greatest Batman comic of all time, and I kind of agree. But yes, Snyder does do like some cool shit, like the Justice League film, which is the film after Batman and Superman and Batman. Apparently, he was supposed to make that film, and then his daughter died, so he left the production. And they said that like the final version of that movie kind of sucks because it's a half-baked version of his film. But what he did is a couple of years later, he re-edited the film himself and released the Justice League Snyder cut. So like 4 years after it came out, he did a full 100% re-edit where he took the things that were cut and he moved some things around, and they put that out by itself, and people fucking went nuts about it. And it was called the Justice League Snyder cut. So this is like stuff that I was just like, I'm not a comic book guy big anymore. And I used to be, so I know some of the shit. I don't follow the MCU, the DCU, and whatnot, but I'm like, all right, this could be a fun little thread to try to follow, because this guy Snyder, apparently he does have his own film, superhero film, that's his own story, that's not related to Marvel or DC, that he's made, that's out right now. There's a sequel. So I don't know, just as a guy who's been doing a lot of movie talk and seeing a lot of films, it's something that's a blind spot in my, in my catalog. So I do kind of just like to soak up shit when I can.
Right.
So yeah, let's see. Crumb says Justice League is trash. But Crumb, did you see the Justice League Snyder cut? What I'm curious about. And he's saying Snyder got booted from DC because he was trash. Yeah, like I didn't like the Watchmen film. I thought that sucked, but the 300's a good film. Like, so you can't call him trash if he's the guy who made 300. That's like some monumental movie making. And I get it's not for everyone. And sometimes people change as their career evolves. A guy like Danny Boyle, for example, a guy who made 28 Days Later, and then like Slumdog Millionaire, Train Spotting, and then look at like his later career is a lot different. So these people, they can change. I change. Italian Stallion, you want good book viewing? Invincible, The Boys, Doom Patrol. Are you saying Invincible or Invincible, not the Invisibles? Because I have the Invisibles up here. I know The Boys is a TV show, I'm pretty sure. I've never seen the source material, but I do know the Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is a Grant Morrison IP. That's the guy who did this, the Invisibles. I usually would take this down easily, but it's very heavy, and I only have one arm. Okay, that was good. Now look at this. This is my favorite graphic novel of all time, Grant Morrison's The Invisibles. And like, look at this. This is what's called an omnibus, and that means it's got every edition of every story in it, and it's like 8 or 9 volumes of some very cool, out there comic book shit. Jesus Christ, this hand is not good. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, yeah.
How many weeks are you into the break?
Woo. That hurt. So on Tuesday, it'll be 2 weeks.
Okay, so you're not even 2 weeks in.
No. And they took the cast off this week already. The doctor said it's better for my recovery and full strength regaining to let it start to do some mild
Just
movements.
Don't overexert.
Yeah, someone said don't pick up anything heavy, and I kind of was just doing that there. So I've been trying not to do that sort of shit, but sometimes you got to do shit for the podcast, man. So yeah, I would honestly really suggest that if anyone's never gotten into graphic novels and you want to start, I would say try The Invisibles. Get your hands on The Invisibles Volume 1 because, holy shit, let's bring it around full circle here. The Matrix, the movie The Matrix, the Wachowski brothers are still accused to this day, of stealing some very specific source material from The Invisibles Volume 1 in The Matrix. And I hate to tell you, I kind of agree, because in The Invisibles, and this is like a little bit of a spoiler, but whatever, this is fact. The guy takes a drug and it opens his eyes to the real reality that's going on. A homeless guy gives the main character this drug and his eyes are open to the real people that are controlling reality and keeping us all down, and that he has to test that he truly believes by jumping from one building to the other, from one rooftop to the other. Like, it's just very craftily stolen, inspired. You know, that specificness of it. People have always looked, and there are other things too that the Matrix is accused of lifting, which honestly I got no fucking problem with that sort of stuff. If you can use other inspiration from art to create your own amazing, beautiful art, then I can't stop that, and I can't criticize that really either. I do think it's important though to reference, you know, what you're, you know, you don't have to put footnotes in a movie. That's the beauty of cinema, is that you don't have to, this isn't a fucking college paper. You don't have to, quote. If people can pick up on your quotes, then the better for it, really. And movies are one of the few things that you can get away with, like, legitimately lifting stuff however the fuck you want and putting your own spin on it. So,
sure.
Agreed. Thank you, Dila. See? But then we have Ed Granger saying this is even too low for Ray. Yeah, Ray's probably still sleeping, if you ask me. He's not a morning guy. The Invisible opens summoning the spirit of John Lennon. That is 100%. Not only just the spirit of John Lennon, like the LSD trippy Sgt. Pepper's era John Lennon, which is, I think, my favorite Lennon. You know, actually, no, my favorite Lennon was the Lennon who went, oh, me gut. Oh, I've been shot in me gut. Oh,
ouch.
I'm dying here in Central Park. Fuck. All right.
Wow.
That's probably going to get me in some hot water. Some hot water with the whole might get canceled. Might get canceled there. The Wachowski sisters. Is that what I think they go by the Wachowski siblings now? But do you know that about the Wachowskis?
I have heard that.
It's like they had started off as the Wachowski brothers,
right,
when that film first came out, and then one of them did transition, and then I do think that maybe the other one may have transitioned as well. And yeah, like that's another thing that I'm not like at all gonna correlate this sort of stuff. But their first two films as like the regular Wachowski brothers, and I'm not saying regular, I should take that back. I'm sorry. As like the first Wachowski brothers, that was this film Bound. Do you ever remember that film Bound from back in the day?
No.
This was Gina Gershon. It was like what she got popular for. It was like this sexy, seductive adult film that had to do with like getting tied up or some shit. That's where the Bound thing comes in. The Wachowskis were always like some S&M leather people, as you could see, is a huge motif in the Matrix. Everybody in the future or in the Matrix is wearing, you know, leather. All the like, you know, the people that are trying to, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so those two films are like great storytelling, simple but effective movies. Everything else after is so fucking out there and hard to digest, difficult to grasp, hard to chew on, that they kind of like maybe are just doing things for themselves and not giving a fuck about that initial fan base that they built with the first Matrix. I think that's something that occurred where the Wachowskis maybe even like had some spitefulness for the dude culture that embraced the Matrix, as people we know what we know about them and saw what they would do later. There was like this crazy movie Cloud Atlas that I tried watching. I went and saw it in the theaters, and it's like about people that change their whole from men to women and stuff. It's out there shit, man. And it became, like I said, even for a stoner like me, it was too much. And I think there's something to that.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to get too controversial and, upset anybody out there. But yeah, look at this. Harry Potter and the Spell of Nunchucks was not received in theaters. I see what he did there.
Did they ever catch the nunchuck guy?
So I have not gotten a call back yet from the NYPD about that. So I'm going to assume no.
Is there any video or pictures or
they did call me back in the next day to identify him on a lineup.
All right.
It was a picture lineup, but it was one of those things where they said, hey, we can't influence you whatsoever. We're going to show you this 6 pictures. If you recognize somebody in this picture, in this lineup, pick them out and tell us how you know them. They put the paper down in front of me, and I saw the motherfucker's face instantly, and I was like, this man right here attacked me with nunchucks.
So they know who the guy is.
They said that they can't comment whatsoever on like anything, because when you're in a lineup, they have to have zero influence on the person doing the lineup. So they were like, we can contact you later about what's going on, but right now, for the purpose of investigation and court proceedings, we need to have you come in without any knowledge of anything going on, look at these pictures and tell us what happened, and leave without any influence. Like, so that they can say that I was not coerced in any way or influenced, in my my statement, So
it's still under investigation, but they know who the guy is?
Yes. And again, I can't say that right now because that could potentially like hurt the prosecution. You know what I mean? So it is an open case right now. So even though I am the victim in this case, I do not know 100% what I should be saying and not saying. I did talk to a lawyer about this sort of shit, and he did give me the okay. He says, you can't get in trouble. You can't get yourself fucked up by saying anything about what happened to you. But I still kind of want to let the NYPD do their job, and see what happens here. At the end of the day, man, like, I am not necessarily one that's for mass incarceration and a prison state and the police state, man. To be honest, man, now I'm going to sound like a psycho here, and I'm fine with it. But I've said this already. I said this over at my gym. I was like, you know what? I would rather them, instead of have the guy get in trouble with the law, have him go one-on-one with me, no weapons, and let us square off, and do it like the old West. That would be my way to feel retribution in this sort of instance, because, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that this guy got to use a weapon on me and I had nothing to defend myself with is really the most fucked up part of this whole thing, I think. Well, so
I would assume anyone walking around New York with nunchucks and using them on random people have some kind of mental issue.
Absolutely.
So
guy was a ticking time bomb. And yes, it's funny. Now I'm prepared a little better these days, I guess, for a situation like that. Nothing extreme, but I did purchase some bear mace. So I've got like this fucking giant canister of bear mace now that I'm carrying with me. So I figure like if this guy was swinging that fucking thing around, and I just pulled out this fucking tube of I just blasted him, he probably wouldn't have hit me in the arm so good. So
there you go.
Stevie Lou is carrying around bear mace. Nice.
I got one arm right now. I'm still down one arm.
Was this the first time you've ever been in like any kind of physical altercation walking around New York? Or
no.
Is this just the most injured? Have you been more injured than this? Or?
Yeah, no, actually, I had a guy pull a steak knife on me, a kitchen knife, on me once late at night when I was walking home in Hell's Kitchen. I used to live in like the Times Square area, and I was walking home one night, and a guy accosted me, was asking for money, and pulled a fucking kitchen knife on me. That was like a good 8 years ago, so it had been a long time, and that was the middle of the night. It was like midnight in Times Square. I really shouldn't have been out that late. I was coming home from an event, and this thing was middle of the day, broad daylight like that. That was kind of out there.
So what happened?
What, in the other?
No, situation? With the knife. He pulled the knife, and then what, did you give up money, or did you just take off? Or?
No, I ran into the street. This was on 8th Avenue. I was on like 44th and 8th, I want to say. Somewhere close to that area. And the guy pulled the knife on me, and I was actually with a girlfriend at the time. And I told her to run. And I then, as he followed me, I went into the street. Traffic was coming. Like in New York City, especially at night, you'll get these waves going down the avenues. Like they'll have a set of red lights, and then it'll turn green, and then the greens will start consecutively turning. So traffic starts moving. So there was like no traffic coming. I stepped out into traffic just to get away from the guy. And I figured playing in traffic was less dangerous than playing with a guy with a knife. And a NYPD van happened to be in the set of cars that came up. So I like started flagging them down. They jumped out. They saw the guy with the knife in his hand, and he tried to ditch the knife, and they went and grabbed him. And I, was taken to safety.
Unscathed.
So, unscathed. I had like a small, we had kind of tussled a little bit, and I hit him, and I had like a slight issue with my hand with him, but he didn't stab me or anything, thankfully. And at the time, New York City was going through a big slashing fate. There was like a craze of slashings that was going on back in like that 2017 era. So, yeah, it was like sadly not the first time something insane has happened. I think if you talk to most people who've lived in New York, they could probably describe some pretty hairy situations they've been in. Maybe not to the degree that I've, been in, because a lot of times your move is probably best to just get the fuck out of there and run, and flee the situation. And in those two instances now, like I kind of was backed into a corner with a weapon, and it's not like I got a weapon. So in both these situations, maybe people are pulling weapons because I look like a guy that should be stabbed or should be nunchucked. I don't know. What do you think? Do I look like
if I had a knife and saw you coming towards me, I might stab you with it.
Just pull it out at least.
Yeah.
So, trial by combat. Yeah. And the sad thing too, and I'm not going to start sounding like fucking Tea Party guy over here or nothing, but the sad state of affairs in New York City is that they are letting criminals in and out of prison, in and out of jail. Like there's no stickiness to charges anymore. The courts are so backed up, and the climate is so fucked up with the prosecution that they're very, very Democratic and left leaning. So, this guy, if he does get caught, does face charges, does get convicted, he may not even go to jail. Who knows? So I do want to see this shit through, though, just for the fact that, this is now like a workman's comp issue, like all of my hospital bills and, my ambulance ride's going to get covered by work. So just to solidify all that, I got to go through the whole process and make sure it's all documented so I don't get fucking shafted, as can happen, man. As Ray DeVito could tell you about ambulance ride bills.
Ambulance trips are not cheap.
So, let's see here. Adam, call this episode Broad Daylight, Butter My Bread Brawl. That's some good alliteration right there.
How about that? Adam is leaving MLC. That's
not
gonna be a thing.
Thanks for bringing that up, man. I did want to actually talk about that for a second. I was hoping to honestly try to see if I can get Adam on the Stevie Lou program in the near future to maybe get a one-on-one with him if he's okay with that, because I absolutely have nothing but terrible things to say about, holy shit, he's here. No, I have nothing but the absolute brightest comments, most wonderful comments to say about Adam. We all know his last name, but Adam, the producer of the MLC show, man, was absolutely the backbone of that show this whole time, and is such a cool, down-to-earth, nice guy to deal with. The few minutes that I would have before an episode when we'd be waiting for Kevin to get there, when we'd already have the link, man, chatting with that guy about stuff was always a delight. He is very tuned in on things, very intelligent, very fair, very judicial with his demeanor, and is going to be sorely missed.
Yeah.
He's going to be missed in, a lot of ways. Some ways you'll see on the front end, and some ways you'll probably notice on the back end, because, without breaking into it too much, Kevin's said this, Adam does all the Patreon uploading, all the bells and whistles stuff when it comes to uploading and downloading. That's Adam's main facility in that role. So I was trying to think who would be a good replacement, man. And now, for the first time, I think maybe I could be looking at him right here next to me, man. Could Obnoxious John
no
be a
way.
Good replacement for Adam?
No.
We'll see.
No, thank you. I'm trying to go through in my head who is the most stable person.
Yeah,
who would be able to take on that job?
I've been racking my brain too, man.
I don't know if anybody could.
And you have to have the availability too. Like people, someone reached out to me and they were like, Stevie, you should jump in that seat, man. Take that role. And I, as much as I would love to, and I would do that, I can't. I cannot be free Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. This may come to a surprise to a lot of the people at home, but I am not just free all the time. It probably does seem like that with how easy sometimes I can jump on MLC at 4 o'clock, but I'm not always available at 4 o'clock. I do kind of like make myself available when I can. And my job also has changed just about 2 weeks ago, where I have new responsibilities and more responsibility, and I'm not going to be able to be giving full attention from 4 to 7 every day of the week. So you may even see my input over during the week on MLC start to decrease. I got kind of lucky because they let me work from home big time the past 2 weeks with my injury, but that's going to end up, that goodwill is going to wash up, and I'm going to be expected to be out and about sometimes. So I'll still be on for sure, but I won't be able to just be like, hey, send Stevie the link, he'll jump on anymore, which is it's tough, but it's real and it's good. It's good for Adam that he's got some sort of better life event occurring for him that's going to, help him out. Like there's no one out there, including Kevin, and I think that is the case, would ever give him shit for pursuing greener pastures. I think that's like the American way. And I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I could see that point of view, but it sounds to me like he just can't do it anymore because the wherever he works, they have new owners, and the new owners are not going to permit him to be able to go on at 4 every single day. So it almost sounds like he's probably. I think he got an increase in pay with the new ownership, but I think at the end of the day, he's probably going to be losing money. I would imagine.
Well,
but that's just me guessing. I have no clue.
It seemed like he said that it is actually going to be a financial, a plus for him, the whole move. And like without, sorry, weed cocking. Without female cop. Sorry. All right. No. What he said was that I guess there was a merger, and when that happens, people's jobs are up for jeopardy or are in jeopardy, and his job survived that. And often when that does occur, when jobs are cut, you do see your pay increase if you do make the cut. So that is a typical sort of corporate.
Well, if that's the case, good for him.
Yeah.
But it is, in my humble opinion, I think it's horrible for Kevin. I always thought Adam was the perfect balance for Kevin's craziness. Adam's very even keeled, and
100%
Kevin is not. So it's gonna be, if he does replace him, it's gonna be tougher. Nobody's gonna be able to fill those shoes. Nobody.
Yeah, it sounds like there may be a win Adam's job contest coming up.
There's a couple of good. Isaac Walmart suggested Jake. Jake may be a good.
Holy shit!
And Truth Seeker suggested Carlos Danger. I think Carlos would be perfect, but Carlos, again, what Stevie's point was earlier, he wouldn't have the time. Carlos would be perfect, but he's got a real life and can't commit to 4 o'clock every day.
This is something I'm not going to say at all. RIP MLC. I think MLC can endure. I've heard people say MLC is dying for fucking almost 2 years now for every different reason. They're like, oh, this is it. They're done. And I think that motherfucker, Kevin Brennan, he's like a Twinkie in a nuclear winter. He's going to be one of the only things that ever survives the Holocaust, the nuclear Holocaust that may come. We'll always have MLC, even if we don't have, fresh drinking water. That's how I feel. So maybe that could be a great movie concept, right? We have a nuclear meltdown, and then
Kevin Brennan is
a guy
alone screaming at the clouds.
Yes, but like it's so compelling that everybody's like, "Oh my God, we need this man to save our humanity," and he's like, "They don't even sell tickets." He's going off about the Russians don't even sell tickets. I don't know. It's just a thought. I'm spitballing here. That weed cock really works sometimes.
Wow.
And we're hitting the 2-hour mark here. Thanks again for everyone who's been checking in, enjoying this Saturday here with you, Lou and the OJ. I got to figure out a better name than that. Let's call it LEWKIE Soup. LEWKIE Soup.
There you go.
Let's check in back with the chat. I probably skipped over a lot of shit. Swamp Thing or Preacher are fantastic as well. Yeah, I got The Preacher on my shelf. That was a TV show that they did on Netflix recently too that I thought was pretty good. But The Preacher is awesome. Sandman. Holy shit.
We had
Go ahead.
there was a fat chick in high school, and one day we were swimming in the lake, and she came out of the water. And my buddy, that's the day he nicknamed her Swamp Thing.
Jesus.
So every time I see Swamp Thing, I think of her.
That's got to be brutal. So they just called her Swamp Thing for the rest of her.
But behind it wasn't really ever. It wasn't to her face. It was behind her back.
That's nice at least. But yeah, the Swamp Thing is great. Shout out to your high school friends. And yeah, The Preacher is fantastic. But I was about to say, yeah, the Sandman is another one by now. This last name, there's something to it. Neil Gaiman.
He was a gay man.
No, come on. No, it's
Well,
Neil,
you said there was something
Neil
to his
Gaiman.
name. His name's Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman did this epic up there with The Invisibles, I say.
Okay.
The Sandman is another one that was recently adapted for television, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, maybe one day I'll do just comic book specific episode to help. You know, I see people like Crumb Bum are saying that this is all fucking disjointed. There's no real format here. What are you doing, man? Fuck you. This is a ripoff. And I get it. You're not wrong. Just give me some time here. I'll put some stuff together.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, thank you. Pool Scan Sam says Star Trek The Search for Nunchuck was also good. Okay, let's see what we did there.
Or if you say his name backward, this gay man, Neil.
Oh, God. You know what they do when they kneel.
Well, again, you said there was something to his name. So
I
first
did
thing
set
I was
that
thinking
up.
of.
I did set that
All
up.
right.
Ed Gainger is saying, I can't even get a call back from the police. That's pretty good. The client host says, I'm a snitch. Snitch bitch.
He's not wrong.
I know. At least I'm not dry snitching, you know. And what am I supposed to go settle this on my own? Damn. Damn, son. Oh, God. Soren Ringholm says, as a kid, I loved Whoopi Goldberg as the nun Chuck in Sister Act 2. The nunchuck in Sister Act 2. I see what he's doing there. You should play clips of Tookie and Peeps from last night. Is that something we should do, OJ?
Hey, this is your stream, brother. I'm just
okay. Just living in it.
It's your tree. I'm just sitting in the branch.
Let me see. If you said no, then I would have been okay with that. Just checking the temperature. Let me pull up my lost interest. Why is my keyboard not working? There we go. Comes right up for me. Great idea. First clip up I see is Stevie Lou goes on MLC and claims not to know much about Little Lemmy. Okay, not going to play that one. Here we go. I got it. This is the wonderful and talented Tookie from last night down in Largo, Florida. WATP Live. Let's full screen this. Let's see what we see.
Oh, that's Mrs. C.
Looking
she's trying to French kiss Tookie.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Oh shit! Jesus.
Hold on.
I didn't notice that till now.
We got a lot of stuttering John.
Oh, sorry, my
volume. You're stuttering John,
okay.
boys.
Let's go back. I want to say one thing here about Mrs. C. I want to go on record right now about Mrs. C here. Looks happy and healthy. You know, like a lot of people are making all sorts of really insensitive comments about Mrs. C on the internet these days.
Like
and
what? I haven't.
I won't get into the details. That's you almost set me up there. But some really insensitive stuff has been said about this lady. And I'm here to say that from what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing someone who looks like they're in good health and not under any sort of duress, you know? So, you know, let's take the good with the bad here.
That's fantastic. Of course. Yay. Hold on. What?
Okay, so we get a "Hey Rocco" and then a "What?" As that's the first interaction I believe that everyone was introduced to those two, and goddamn, is that not hilarious? And then
great.
look at the look on this motherfucking goon's face right here. This is a man who is having a good time, living it up, enjoying himself, and I gotta love that too, man. You know, another guy who's been accused of being this, that, the other thing, you know, but he's showing up. Look, let's see if we can see a little better what he's wearing here.
Stutter and John voicemails on here. Uh-oh.
No, that's a little okay, a little oversharing. Just suddenly has voicemails. He's randomly, you know, it's kind of like when Ray was showing who was it? He was showing somebody videos of him shooting 3-pointers. Who was that in Atlantic City?
Oh yeah,
God,
I don't remember, but it was one of the beloved chatters.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, you know, when you're in a public setting, you just start show and telling.
John voicemails. Yeah.
So yeah, he's got. But look at this look, the fit we call it, right? The drip, the fit, as the kids call it these days. That screenshot there. I want to see if I can get.
John voicemails on here. Uh-oh.
There you go. Look at that. Okay. Oh, I kind of fucked that up. Damn it. I want to see if we
Hey,
can.
what? We got a lot of.
Yeah, look at. Damn it. All right, I can't nail it. But Joey's wearing a aqua blue tracksuit and a turquoise. Thank you. Looks like it's crushed linen, or what is it? Velvet, right?
Yeah.
Velvet aqua blue tracksuit with the varsity stripe collar and a bling bling dollar bill chain as well. I mean,
amazing.
I think, and we don't see just yet, but apparently he had some fly ass Fila shoes. I think that's what I had heard.
Stutter and John voicemails
And look,
on here. Uh-oh.
also look at the hair, you know, like looking well coiffed. As a guy like me, you know, I got nothing up here, you know what I mean? So this guy's been through all he's been through and can still put together a nice look, you know.
Voicemails on
He does have the little bit of the Paulie Walnut thing going on, which age will get you one way or another, you know. But it fits him well, you know, especially for Largo, Florida. I guess he's got the good tan too. It looks like those walk and talks are actually working, man. I've heard him say multiple times that he's losing weight, and you can see he's got a real good tan going. So I'm happy to see that, man. Like, I'm one of these guys that I got no. He's come at me multiple times, and I think he's come at you multiple times out of the blue, you know. But I got no ill will for Joey C.
Yeah, he's a lunatic, but
he's a lunatic. So am I.
He's a character, though. That's for sure.
Uh-oh. You got Stuttering John voicemails? Yeah.
Past
We
that.
love you, though. More than a friend, Tookie. Yes, we love you. Joey C wearing lips? What? Joey C's wearing lips. Oh, no. Joey C, you're wearing lips? Wearing what? You're wearing lips? Yeah. Oh, he does. Ah! Want to see my feet? Yes. Let's go.
Here we go. This is the big reveal.
Wait a minute.
And look, yeah, he's got some fresh white Fila sneakers on and a real foot.
Oh, they're real. They're real. Oh, God.
And then look at this. Cardiff goes in for the touch. Oh, God. And then Cardiff runs off to probably see if he could burn.
Are you signing on?
He was probably looking for a lighter or some rubbing alcohol backstage to sanitize his finger. Let's check in and see if anybody's. Yeah, Greg B says Joey looks like he lost a few pounds. You know, hopefully not in the dick area, but hopefully, you know, he has. Detois says that I think Mrs. C should hang out with Dawn. I think that would be a good combo. I think Dawnie and Mrs. C would, their vibes match for sure. Let's keep going.
Autographs? Are you signing posters? I'll sign whatever you want. Yes. All right. I'm here as a friend and a fellow bond. Fantastic. I'll be back to ask you more horrible questions that the chat asks. Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Now this is kind of trippy because I'm not sure if this is OJ last night laughing in the background or are you laughing now. I'm sure you're probably like, oh fuck, this is a little awkward because I was on air for this.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
Did I give you back your pen? Oh. Yeah.
I refrained from laughing most of the night last night, but there was a few times.
Couldn't help it.
Could not help it.
Cardiff with the, I will say,
I'll take care of John.
Cardiff has, look at that. Great pause here. Always something new, I feel, with his look at these live events. Cardiff really does put in the effort, puts in the time to show up. And yeah, look at him. He's got
he wore that mask actually in Detroit, but unfortunately, nobody knew it was him because it was a new mask at that time. So
it was painted up like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. I knew he was a masked guy, and as a matter of fact, the first time I met him in person at at Citi Field where the Mets play, myself and Bobo Curlin were at a game, and Cardiff met us there. He had the Spider-Man mask on and showed up right behind us and kind of gave us a little
hello
fun. Oh, is this the one and only Daniel Curlin? So we did have a good time. Cardiff did buy us some beers. You know, he spent $40 on 2 beers at Citi Field. Which
he's good like that. He's a good man.
Yeah.
He bought us all dinner or lunch our last day in Detroit. So.
Hey, the love of the chatters, man.
Good potato.
Yeah, the love of this community is tremendous. The Bentleys, Jason Bentley and Mrs. Bentley took NLO, Tookie, and myself to breakfast after the Super Bowl, the Monday after the Super Bowl, when we were still in AC. So you gotta love those little communal moments that we can have. I love it. Let's play this a little more here. Mrs. C again.
Bring me off camera.
It's not on screen.
Thank you very much. That's why I got a pro. Did you see me here? I thought I was like in the clear, just hitting the weed cock over here. Okay, yeah, that was a little. We got him here.
Joey chatting us. How did you do that? Christina, stop super chatting. Stop super chatting us. No, what? Stop super chatting us. Didn't you just ask Joey? Can you tell Joey to stop hitting me off camera?
All right. No, I just said I don't
like a great moment.
I don't like people toying around with, folks, but you got to admit that was a little silliness, and she did handle that properly.
El Horrible is turning into the new stuttering John of the Dabbleverse.
100%. That's like going up asking. That was like going up and asking O.J. Simpson if he killed Nicole, more or less. I will say that. So that is a wonderful point. All right, let's finish this up here. And then also, I don't know if you saw that
none of us saw that because it's not on screen.
Oh fuck! Okay, damn it! What am I doing here? Blowing it.
There you go.
You see this here, El Horrible. That El Horrible.
Tell Joey to stop hitting me off camera.
Photobombs. He goes from fucking with Mrs. C to photobombing Joey's photo. That was brilliant.
People are taking pictures of Joey. Hey, people are taking pictures of Joey. Say, you know what? This whole thing was to come and see you guys. Of course, everybody wants to see us. What do you think they're here to see Carl and his stupid show?
Right?
Yeah.
Good point.
Steve, he's gonna whoop your ass. Oh, not your Steve.
All right. I wish I could have been there to meet Dr. Steve. That's the one thing that I'm like, all right. Dr. Steve in the house is always huge for me, at least.
Yeah.
Have you had the opportunity? Like, was he in Rochester?
Twice, yes. I met him in Rochester, and then
Detroit.
Detroit, yes. I got to go have breakfast with Dr. Steve.
Yeah, man. Long time ago, I was having some problems with my rear end. Now you could probably run with that all you want, but I was having some issues, and I knew the Dr. Steve phone number because he puts it out there. And I called him, left him a voicemail, and about a week and a half later, I got a very specific text back from a number that I didn't recognize that like told me exactly what I needed to do and what it was and how, because at the time I didn't have a general practitioner.
How to pull it out.
How to pull it out.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yep.
Put the ointments on.
Yeah. He says it's surprising what you do is you use cold water, and then cold water helps a metal rod retract slightly. And it's so I'll never forget it though, because it was like a couple days after the fact. I called him in. He sent me a text message from a random number, and I was like, holy shit, who the fuck is this? How do you know about my issue? And he was like, Dr. Steve, how you sent this to me. And from that time on, fucking goddamn if I really appreciated Dr. Steve even more than I had already appreciated and loved the guy, because that's what he does. He helps people and does it out of the kindness of his heart and the goodness of his heart. So
yeah,
big shout out to the big Dr. Steve, man. He's a big fan of this band called Quran Bin. And let me pull that up because it's a hard one to spell. Share this tab instead.
Also a fan of Cannibal Corpse.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I love Cannibal Corpse myself. But yeah, this is one of his big loves. I know he said this band called Quran Bin. And I happen to have no attachment or no relationship to the band, but I have a group of people that are like wildly devoted to that band that I'm like friends with, and they've got access to all these like live recordings and stuff that's not for the public and not supposed to be shared, pirates and shit like that. So I've been feeding Dr. Steve stuff from Quran Bin. Whenever I get it come across my desk, I fucking shoot it over to him. And so yeah, if anybody out there wanted to know something about Dr. Steve, he is a huge fan of Quran Bin. And yeah, so get him some nice stuff from Quran Bin if you want to, say thank you. And yeah, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Yeah, Cannibal Corpse. Fuck. I wanted to go see them live recently because they still tour. And apparently it's still a fucking really hard show. I can't imagine how it wouldn't be, but that's one of those ones who I've never seen live, but would like to see live.
I do think he's calling you a cannabis corpse.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Thank you for catching that.
Or me, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think that's probably me. Yeah. Shivy Eye is saying that Joey's clothes all look stolen. No. Oh, yeah. Look, thank you. It was Tio Hank, Italian Stallion. Thank you so much. I can't believe. Sorry, Tio Hank. That was not intentional. I was not being a dick. I'm high. And my short-term memory is shot. Tio Hank was the one that Ray cornered and showed shooting 3-point baskets in AC.
Oh, okay.
Too.
There you go.
Okay.
It's so random.
He was draining them though. He did hit like 7 or 8 in a row. But I got to think that he was probably filming for like a good half hour, because it seemed like he was just going from corner to corner for a while. And I'm sure any of us give us a half hour and we'll drain 7 or 8 and like put it up on and corner somebody. So yeah, I'm calling bullshit on Ray being such a good basketball player. I've never had the chance to play against him. I know he's always in the city playing with Big J Okerson. It's one of his big brags. He's never personally invited me to come play that game because I guess I'm not an actual comedian, as Ray likes to put it. But I would love to eventually one day, especially once I'm healed up, get and play with Ray for two reasons. Reason one is I'm a decent basketball player, OJ. I'm not sure if that comes off as like a brag or whatever, but I grew up in New York, like right outside of New York City, and I played high school basketball, for most of my career there for a very competitive high school. And we used to play some of the bigger teams in Manhattan and Queens and Brooklyn. Like we played Christ the King, Rice, St. Ray's. These are names of high schools that you probably wouldn't have any idea unless you were really linked into the New York scene. But we get our asses kicked, sure. But we were like playing that caliber of level and like would be able to hold our own to a certain extent. And when we'd come back to our league, because we were kind of like the I don't know, I don't want to get too much into local high school sports, but we go play those better teams in the city, like teams that would send kids to college, guys that would go on to play the pros, kids that played AAU all the time.
You guys were battling. You guys were battling tough teams.
Yeah, like we would have like a guy that would play AAU is like the amateur league basketball. That's, I'm pretty sure around the country, you'll have these club teams that are like highly selective, that kids play like travel ball, they basically call it, and you go around playing these other high level club teams. So we would have like one or two AAU guys on our team, and then we'd play a team that had all AAU starting five, So anyway, I was a decent basketball player, so I'd love to get out there. I could swat the shit. I was a very good defensive guy. I could blocking shots was my specialty, and that's like one of the more degrading things that you could do in basketball is just keep swatting the shit out of people when they bring it to the hole. So I used to do the Dikembe Mutombo, no, and get in people's heads and shit, and had great timing. So I'd love to swat the shit out of Ray. And also, basketball is a physical sport. It is a physical sport where you can, again, not cross a line, but you can get on somebody and you can do things that are uncomfortable to them. That's part of it, and I'm not saying I was going to go throw bows and try to take Ray the fuck out, but I would love to post up on Ray, you know what I mean? And like, see what it's like to let Big Stevie back you the fuck down and then, fake the fuck out of you. Cause that's again, where my game is mostly specialized, is either low post defense or offense. And I used to have to battle with some motherfuckers in my day. And I would love to get back down in there and do it. So, Ray, the challenge has been laid, brother. I'd love to play some basketball with you maybe this summer. I think by then my arm will be healed up. And that is something I need to really focus on and take very serious too, man, is like the rehab that's going to be coming up for old Stevie Lou. Kind of sucks, man. I've been like not getting out too much the past week and a half, just because they said just take it easy and relax. I was like going running 3-4 times a week and boxing 4 or 5 times a week and doing all sorts of shit leading up to this. So I've been put on the shelf for some time, and that's not good for me. So the key for Stevie Lou is to get back out there. My boxing trainer was like, hey man, we'll get you boxing with one hand as soon as we can. He was like, what? Even though the other arm isn't good to start throwing punches, as long as it's good to not hurt yourself, you can do some workouts with us with one arm. So I'm looking forward to maybe actually.
What was it, like 4 to 6 weeks of it?
Yeah, the doctor said, because like, okay, I said, how long before I can ride a bike? And he said, give yourself a full 5 weeks recovery before you start putting stress like riding a bike, because you put so much weight on your hand when you're riding a bike, and also the shock of bike riding is not good for the recovery. So
so when you're not going to start training until
another 2-3 weeks. I'm going to give it, like, as soon as I can start running comfortably, which I'm thinking is probably another, like, so biking is too much stress on the arm. running shouldn't be too bad. It's still loose. You could still feel it healing and kind of clicking right now.
Yeah.
So if I went out running, it would just be fucking clicking the whole time, and that's no good. So once it stops like clicking, and it's getting better and better each day, I will say, which is really great because I was really through it for a while. I was just, it's really frustrating. I felt like, Scary Movie 2, the waiter or the butler, it's Chris Elliott. He's like the guy with the bad hand.
Yeah.
I was basically that guy for the past week and a half. Like everything I was trying to do, I was like dropping and like fucking
I can appreciate
spilling.
it. I broke my wrist, and it was 6 months. So 6 months in a cast. So and
you lose your mind.
It was you really appreciate having everything working until you don't.
Yeah. And I mean, I've said this now again, like I've broken my legs, I've broken a leg bone, and I now stand by it that breaking a hand, an upper extremity, is so much worse to your quality of life than your leg. Even though it does suck to have crutches and not be able to mobilize as easy, being able to not use your two hands together functionally is fucking like, if you were a caveman, it's a death sentence. It really is a death sentence. And that's why, like, it's remarkable how quick your bones will heal, because they need to heal. Because if this was caveman law, I'd be dead as fuck. I'd be useless, and I'd be, gone here. And thank God we're not cavemen anymore. And it makes me feel like a little bit of gives me some perspective on a guy like Quadfather, who I know does not have full range of motion with his upper extremities and stuff like that. And like, I'm absolutely not trying to poke fun at that. And I have in the past, and he's always been good at taking that sort of stuff. And he's always thrown shit back at me in jest, which is good. That's fine. Having back and forth like that, I'll never get mad at shit like that. Calling me a fucking dealer, all that nasty shit out of just good-natured ribbing. That's fine. I don't feel like that's what's going on anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, with the whole stuff that he has to deal with, I'm not trying to fucking say poor Quadfather, because I know he don't want sympathy like that. But it just gives you some chance to put some perspective on things, and you try to appreciate what you got when you got it. So, know what I'm saying, man?
I feel you. I was about to call you the N-word.
Thank you for not.
Stop myself.
Datesois says oversharing. She's right. And yeah, let's play that one more time. Cannabis Corpse from MAGA Ray DeVito. Let's get down here.
He was trying to say that's a band. I don't know if that's another band, or if he was talking about Cannibal Corpse. I don't know.
Check it out. I mean, it could be like a cover band. Like they have that one band, Mac Sabbath.
Sure.
Which is Cannabis Corpse. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a cannabis themed death metal band. Let's see if I can pull this up. Share this tab and sit that. Streamy Yachty. Yeah, look at that. Cannabis Corp. Let me zoom it. Come on, Ma. All right, can't zoom it. Cannabis Corpse is a cannabis-themed death metal band from Richmond, Virginia, formed in 2006. Let's see. They're fully original. Their album, while their music is fully original, their album titles and song titles are parodies of many other death metal bands. Let's see if I can pull up just how. Okay, I can't really get an example of that here. Let's see if I can go Cannabis Corpse.
If you like metal parody songs, do you remember the Stormtroopers of Death?
No. Look at them. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at this here. Can you guys still see me?
Yes,
Yeah,
not
okay,
you,
good.
but we see the screen.
Yeah, let's pull us up here. Hold that thought real quick, the one that you had, because we'll go to them next. But Mummified in Bong Water, Dawn of Weed Possession, Weedless One, Where the Kind Lives, Baptized in Bud, Jesus, Disposal of the Baggie. Yeah, man.
So they're kind of like Weird Al Yankovic
Yes.
meets
Holy shit.
death metal meets
Yeah.
Cypress Hill.
Yeah, I don't want to play any of it because I don't want to get, I think that's a bad move when you're still working on getting monetized, playing other people's shit.
So you could play other people's shit, you just can't do the commercial ads.
Yeah, that's when
I don't think that's a big deal in our universe.
But I'm worried about this. Is that what happens once you're monetized? Before you're monetized, if you're playing that sort of shit a lot, I think they look negatively about that because I get little copyright warnings because I can't monetize right yet. But if I do something that's crossing the line, like you just said, I get a note on my end about that. It tells me to edit it out if I want, So I've been trying to avoid that while I go on my way to monetization. I think once you get past that level, you're given a little bit more leeway, or once you get past that level and have some time spent, because I know you had some trouble where you got fucking taken out. I know Joey C's gotten taken out recently for questionable reasons, both of you, so I'm trying to watch my P's and Q's a little bit. I also kind of do like to push it sometimes too with this stuff because that's kind of my way I do things. So I don't know. We'll see. But okay, what were you saying? You said the
Stormtroopers of Death. I believe they were the dudes that started. Some of them started Anthrax, but this was before Anthrax, and they had like songs about like fat girls, like called Spandex Enormity, like fat chicks wearing spandex.
Well, I got an Anthrax. Looks like that's an Anthrax logo on there.
They speak English or die.
So, Stormtroopers of Death, also known as SOD, was an American crossover thrash band formed in New York City in '85. They are known for reuniting Anthrax members Scott Ian and Charlie Benante with their former bassist Dan LEWKIE, looks like. And then their instrumental song "March of the SOD" from their '85 debut album "Speak English or Die" was the Headbangers Ball intro theme for many years. Wow,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, wasn't a huge Headbanger Ball fan when it was in its heyday, in its prime, in like the early '90s. Because again, we're a few years removed, so the heavy metal stuff, while I had an appreciation for it when I was like 9 or 10, like I couldn't like just grip on it as well. So I never really was like keeping up on the Headbanger Ball. I knew it was on Friday or Saturday night, late night. I knew where like that it was a thing. And I knew like the older guys in the town were into it. But I did get into it in its last years because they fucking ran that thing very long. Headbangers Ball went on, I want to say, until like 2004 or 5.
A lot of those shows were like mainstays. Yo, MTV Raps,
all that Headbangers Ball hung on for a long time. Let me see how far they stuck it out for. Because what I want to say is that I used to watch it like I remember when it went off the air. It used to be on MTV2 at the end. But I'm seeing that it it had a run from 2003 to 2007 with Jamie Josta, who is the lead singer of Hatebreed, who a lot of people don't really like. I think they're all right. But back in 03 to 07, I was really into metal, because that would have been when I was 21 to 27. So I had absolutely my biggest machismo era back then. You know, people think I'm a problem now that I start shit now. You should have seen my ass when I was in my 20s. You know what I mean? When I was a little fucking wild man. Thank God we didn't have podcasting back then. But let me pull this down too. Headbangers Ball. Kind of got that up for no reason. Yeah, I got back into hard metal, and like Headbangers Ball was the place to be. And I remember I had like a group of stoner loser friends who really didn't have much going on mainstream at the time, and we would get together, grab a couple of tall boy beers, a 20 bag of weed from the local guy, and a Dutch master, and like, let's watch Headbangers tonight was a thing that we would do. Like I said, like dorks. So it's kind of fun to reminisce. Ed Ganger says, TV, you are worse than Ray at podcasting.
That's not his name, though. Stevie.
No, he hates my guts. I thought he used to like me, but he hates my guts. And Ed Granger, Jesus Christ. You know, Ed Granger just, he doesn't like me, and then he says bad things about me, and then he hates my guts.
It's not bad, Ray. Not bad. But you're mispronouncing Ed's last name.
Please help me out here.
I believe it's Gay Nigger.
Oh my God.
I mean,
I disavow that, obviously, first off. But second of all, I think you're mispronouncing it, or maybe that's the culturally appropriate way to say that.
I was just sounding it out.
I get it. I see what you're doing. Jesus Christ. And I'm worried about copyright strikes this whole time. No, it's all good. Let's keep going to the chat. But thank you for straightening me out on that one.
No problem.
Adam, call this episode "Where is my top lip?" Am I also lipless?
No, probably me because of this filter.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Chad's the lipless one.
Yeah, I was one of the first people to point that out, actually.
Billy Milano, their singer, was in trouble for calling Scott Ian the bad word for JEW. Yeah. I wonder if Ed, maybe Ed's name. All right, never mind. I'm losing it here. Headbangers Ball equals tequila shots. Yeah, right. They ran that thing into the ground, and that's when Stevie Lou joined. Yeah, no, that is true. It's funny. My old buddies that I used to hang out with, they used to have VHSs of the old Headbangers Ball. And what we would do is we'd watch old episodes along with the new episodes. And we were just like fucking dorks that, yeah, we would go see some live shows and enjoy ourselves. But yes, I did fall into that late. Look at this. Flat Cat Jessica just checking in for the first time today. Is this still live? Yes, it is, darling. We're here. I know she's very busy down visiting family, so please, Jess, don't feel like need you here to do anything besides just enjoy yourself. And I hope you're having a great time down in sunny Florida. In the Northeast, at least in New York right now, it is as shitty of a week of weather as you could possibly get. OJ, it was 40 degrees most of the week, and now it's fucking... Actually, no, it went down to 28 in the morning the past 2 nights. And I know you're from a pretty weather negative location, so I don't got to tell you shit. But
no, we've been having great weather, and then the last week it dropped back down, and then overnight we got hit with snow. I woke up to snow on the ground. So
yeah, it's snowing in upstate New York right now. So I'm sure the Rochester crew is very happy to have dodged that bullet and be down in Florida right now, while their friends up in the Northeast suffer. And that's the thing too. The doctor was like trying to be very optimistic right now. It's a great time to have to sit inside and not do anything. By the time you're actually healed up, it'll be perfect bike riding weather. So shout out to the folks over at Bellevue Hospital.
Glass half full.
Yeah, giving me the glass half full. Speaking of glass half full, man, I kind of want to keep going. I don't want to keep you here if you don't need to, if you don't want to stay or go. I totally give you the option. I'm going to gab for just a little bit more, I think, catch up with the chat and everything.
Stick around for a few more minutes.
Cool. What I do need, though, is I'm going to go grab a refill of my coffee. I've gone now almost 3 hours with just that 1 cup of coffee. So I'm going to put on a "We'll be right back" video so you're not stuck here having a vamp or nothing. Just bear with me for a sec while we come right back. And this is fun, man. I appreciate this. So let's see how I pull this up here. What am I going to do? Fuck, I don't even know what I want to do. I'm going to put up the biscuits again. Biscuits. Best jams. Videos. Okay, this one works for me. I'll be right back, folks. I don't think I have a "be right back" thing, though. Here, let me start them up. There we go. And banana. All right. Beautiful, beautiful stuff from the Disco Biscuits, man. That is my favorite fucking band in all the land. OJ, do you know anything about the Disco Biscuits?
No, I know nothing about the Disco Biscuits.
No. Yeah, and that's a bizarre question to have to field. I get it. But it's a, kind of lesser known, sort of underground, not mainstream jam band that I've been a huge fan of basically all of my adult life. But they are currently on the road and releasing a new album this Friday, actually coming up. They'll be in New York City for their big album release show party. I will be there in attendance. A couple, fans have reached out. There is a small crossover of fans of the Disco Biscuits and fans of the Dabbleverse and MLC and stuff. So it is kind of funny to see that. But yeah, I do want to shout out the Disco Biscuits real quick because I do use their music a lot for my pre-show, post-show. Again, all out of just love. I know 2 of the band members pretty well. We go back for different reasons. I ran a half marathon with the bassist in 2017, and used to bullshit and talk comedy and stuff when I was doing that hardcore with the keyboardist Aaron. So yeah, folks should go to discobiscuits.com if you want to check out their shit. If you've never heard of them, the album's coming out on this Friday. They've already teased a bunch of the album, and you could see that if you want to get a taste of their music. But more importantly, they're live in person all around the country right now, especially on the East Coast. They just got off the West Coast. So I wanted to just give a shout out to a couple of places that they'll be in the next couple of weeks. If you are in these areas and you're looking for a good time, this is the time to get into the Disco Biscuits. They are currently in this major upswing where they've got all this new material that they're playing fantastic. They've got all this old material that's still classic and played well, but they're coming to your town. It's a huge party. And for whatever reason, they're seeing a lot of new fans showing up these days at their shows and having a good time and becoming new fans. So I'm just all for it. As you see, they're going to be this coming Thursday out in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which is out there. Buffalo, after New York City. So if you're up in Buffalo, I think these shows might even be sold out. I think the Sunday show isn't, but the Saturday show is. Then they'll be down in Louisville, Kentucky. So anybody down south in Louisville or even New Orleans on April 4th, part of Jazz Fest. And then heading back over to Texas, April 5th. And what is this? It looks like they're playing. Oh, yeah. They're playing a festival in Burnett, Texas, April 5th through 9th. Then coming through to, you can see the Orange Peel, Asheville, North Carolina on the 11th.
Orange Peel.
Yeah, man. Do you know that spot at all? Or
well,
oh shit, you're oh shit. Whoops. Yikes. Let's keep that orange unpeeled, right?
That's right.
Then Nashville, Tennessee. And then if you're down in Georgia, I got to hit up the Bentleys. April 13th, they're playing the Tabernacle. Now, the Tabernacle Theater, I'm going to pull this up, in Atlanta, Georgia, is one of the most beautiful theaters in the country, in my opinion. I haven't seen a ton of places, but it's an old church. So
I saw Too Short at the Masonic Temple.
That's another one, the Masonic Temple. But yeah,
it was not a nice place.
No.
This looks like a nice place.
Yeah, let me see if I can open that and share this. Yeah, here we go. So this is, yeah, as you could see, they got these old organ pipes in the back of the stage. They're just there for decoration and stuff on the side. So right in like downtown Atlanta, not too far from all the hotels and stuff. So yeah, if you ever see like a band that you like is playing the Tabernacle in Atlanta, Georgia, I would absolutely suggest going to see that, because you can fly down to Atlanta real easy. It's a major hub, and downtown Atlanta has, I think, more hotels than fucking any other city besides New York City. So you get a nice place to stay. But yeah, that was my little segment there for the Biscuits. Again, I just feel obligated to say something when I do use their music for free there. And Soviet Skunk says, come see them in Colorado. The Tab is a nasty theater. Seen many shows there. Yeah, the Tab, they call it the Tabernacle. And yeah, the Disco Biscuits are basically a Colorado band at this point. When they go out to Colorado, they sell out and play huge venues because it's a very much hippie sort of band. Yeah, look at that. Flycat says that it snowed up in her house and now she's in AC. Interesting. Oh, no, she's in. Okay, I thought air conditioning. I thought she was talking Atlantic City, which worried me there for a second. All right, let's catch up again with the chat. And wow, this show just got 10,000 times more interesting now. I don't know what that's about.
Adam.
Oh, okay. When Adam showed up before.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to reach out to Adam. He seems like the kind of guy who holds his weekends sacred. So, I wouldn't want him to drop everything and come do this show on a Saturday morning, but I could hopefully see him do me a solid and we could talk a little bit about what it was like to be part of that universe. I think that interviews with Adam would be very interesting. John Doe says the Halloween Headbangers Ball were great. Yeah. I guess I should probably check that out. No, yeah, they wanted you to stay through that break. That's just, I would never do that to somebody, make them sit through it like that while I'm gone. Ray does that to me, or does that to people all the time. I'm sure you've noticed. It's just like, what? Without even really giving you a warning, he'll just be like, I gotta go catch something. And then he'll just, or sometimes he'll even just go, no, I just realized I can't go do that. Just do that to you.
Oh, geez. I thought that really happened.
Well, in your case, you could just throw up Adam if I ever did that to you.
I think I'd be able to riff it, I think.
Yeah, I have like an automatic. I just go into plugs when I get put on the spot and then hope that I can think of something funny to do or say while I'm doing the plugs. That's like what usually that's my go-to. It's kind of like buying time on stage is a skill for sure. And I've certainly been there when you're like, okay, this isn't working. I need to find something else and buy some time. And you just start, going into autopilot, if you will. So kind of there right now because I'm actually filling up the weed cock while I'm talking to you. Wow. That's kind of like poetry in motion right there. Okay. Looks like we got a check-in here from the BYB podcast. I crossed the line today. He's way behind in the show and doesn't care. And I've effed up. And I'm spiraling, loser. Now, OJ, you've been here with me this whole time.
Sure.
Would you say with this take here, does that seem accurate that I fucked up and that I'm spiraling? Or do you think I was being open and honest about stuff?
I don't know exactly what he could be referring to. Maybe because you were taking some shots at him.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of dealing with.
He is behind, so we did go over your situation.
Honestly, give a rat's ass less. He's gonna keep doing what he's gonna keep doing. It's kind of sad because he's basically doing what like the Jim Grindle guys were doing. He's like sadly, and this crosses the line, I'm sure. Like he's becoming a Jim Grindle. He's becoming exactly what he always rallied against.
Why don't we send him a link? Let me try to mediate this maybe.
I could do that, sure.
Yeah, because I don't think you guys, it hasn't gone to a level where you guys should hate each other, and I think that, again, you guys were friends at one point. I don't think it's gone to a point where things can't be fixed.
Yeah, I walked away from that show that I didn't want to be on anymore because I didn't like the way things were going behind the scenes, and I didn't have the time for it either. That's basically it. He wants to make it everything else or whatever it's in his head about, and I guess we could find out. I'll send him the link. Because that's fine. That's content. We'll do it. We're doing it. This is a show. This will be up on the Patreon later.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Looks like Carlos Danger is not available. And yeah, like, again, he's calling me a liar, all this shit. He was saying that I have him blocked.
Well, let's save it. So
sure,
for because I would expect him to come on because he's the kind of guy that would come on and try to work this
I'm just
out.
pointing out that I don't have him blocked. I just don't follow him anymore. And apparently my DMs were closed, and I didn't realize that. So he's running around saying that I'm blocking him when no, I just don't follow him. And my DMs, you can't send one to me unless I follow you. So, like, I hate to say that that's how that is, but I didn't even realize that. Oh, shit, I got to take this banner down. Fuck. Oops.
I thought it was funny. That's why I didn't say anything.
It is. See, now you got good instincts there. You got good instincts with this. And, you know, I hate to say it, man. That's another thing. Quadfather's a real nice guy, and I'll save it for him to be here.
Yeah, save it.
But I did DM him the link on Twitter. Now, if he's watching from behind, he's not going to see this until then. Maybe he'll catch it. But at least for all intents and purposes, I have sent Quadfather the link, and I think this could be good. You're right. I got absolutely nothing to hide or you know, be worried about on my end. So absolutely, let's talk about this. You know what I mean?
It's usually all arguments usually come down to lack of communication.
So,
you know, that's you know, you guys communicate to each other why you're angry, and you fucking see each other's point of view.
I told him.
I've told
him multiple times straight up what it was about. And it was about that whole ski mask situation and how the guy was attacking my family at the time. And now he wants to say it's all about a bunch of other shit. He thinks it's about the whole Kate Meany. He keeps saying that it was about that whole Kate Meany Stuttering John episode, you know, that we did. He wants to keep bringing that up, like that really had anything to do with my leaving. He keeps trying to say that when I said I was leaving because of Kate Meany, because I was honestly a little buzzed and having a good time with the show and took a fucking chance and did a work. You know what I mean? Not like I was sitting there always doing these sort of things. I did it once. And hey, I hate to say it to everyone, and I'll tell it to him to his face. This isn't real life. There is a layer of performative nature to these shows that we do here. So not necessarily saying that you're always working shit. Part of entertaining and trying to be entertaining is sometimes doing things exaggeratively. Am I off base here? Or like, especially when we're in this world here? I'm not sure saying that this is Stephen Lewis, real life podcast man, like IRL. I'm not doing one of those streams. This is a fucking comedy show, an entertainment show. That's what MLC is. That's what Nobody Likes Onions is. You know, that's what the Shuley Show tries to do.
But it's fair to say that's in his mind. This is allegedly from what you're saying. In his mind, that's when shit started getting weird.
That's an excuse that he's been using. And that's not even true, because there was no like bad, crazy blood that started boiling over. What happened is he started getting pressured by a small group of Stevie Lou haters. You know, this guy Ian Hawk, to bring him back up. The Dabblestorian, Roachy, fucking Franks. He was down with that little crew, and they were doing all sorts of little shit in Dabblestorian's Discord, because I was in there with them watching that shit go down, you know? So he was doing all this shit with them. They turned on me. He felt pressure to start pushing back about that. And that's why he started trying to, like, because he kind of got pushed out of that little fucking Frank, Dabblestorian, Ian Hawk community because of the BYB involvement with me, and how there are certain people, again, Ian Hawk, Dabblestorian, fucking Frank, Roachy, that Greg Edwards, that want to be fucking little troll clowns and take it out on me. It's bizarre, you know? So he wanted to keep bringing up that whole thing, that this whole work thing, you know what I mean? And it was not that case, man. They were all cool with it, man. They were actually like going along with the work for a little bit until it blew up in our faces. And then suddenly they wanted to distance themselves and act like no one, I was a rogue maniac that just was doing things for fucking attention. And again, it's like, this is what we're here for. This is why I brought Stuttering John onto that show in the first place. You know, I was the one who brought Stuttering John into that show. I asked him specifically, can you come on BYB? And I did that for them. And while that show was going on, I did a little thing, and then they turned on me about that. That's Quadfather story. That never really happened, man. Like Quadfather could, if he wanted to be a man about it, and he won't. He could pull up.
See, why
the
you gotta
group-
take
I'm saying,
little digs like
because
that?
I'll tell you right now, because he won't do this. He could pull up the group chat. He could pull up the BYB group chat that we have from the Stuttering John episode and that weekend, and we could all look at the communications that we were having and see what the tone of the conversation was. Was it everybody nonstop going, "This is crazy. What did you do to us? Why did you do this? This is the wrong thing to do. Fuck you. You fucked us over for doing this." Nah, they were going with it. And then we started to get backlash. And then I started to get worse backlash about it because Patrick Melton started going, "You turned on your friends for Kate Meany. You've turned on your friends. You're not trustworthy." That's what he was saying to me on air in messages on his Discord, which I was still a part of at that time. So shit was getting real weird and hectic for me where I was like, fuck, okay, this has turned from just me having fun and doing work into a lot worse of a look. So that's when I think I just said, fuck it. I was just fucking around. I was making shit up, you know? So the fact that that's a part of anybody's beef is total bullshit, man. Like I was there that episode as soon as like he kicked me off when I said it's either me or Kate Meany. He kicked me off and then I was back in the fucking backstage when that episode ended. So I didn't want to bring this shit up, but it's like that's the reality of it, man. And I was like, yeah, we got to keep working this angle. I'll figure out a way to make it work. I'll figure a way to roll out of it. That's what I was saying on the back end. You'll see that if he shows the messages. And then eventually I was like, fuck, I've really just shot myself in the foot here. And we're just going to have to fucking just nosedive on this one and keep moving. And that's the thing too. In this fucking community, you can just keep moving and shit gets forgotten and moved on. And maybe a couple people fucking bitch about it on the side, you know, but the fucking news cycle moves things along. Get over it. They haven't gotten over it. So.
Oh, look who we have here. Mr. Quadfather. Have you been listening in to the stream?
No, I just seen a link. I was actually trying to do some other shit, but I'll hop at the chance for this, whatever it is.
All right, we're trying to figure out what is the problem with you guys. We have two different perspectives on why you guys are not liking each other at this time. I know you guys were buddies at one point, so I would like to try to figure this out. What's going on here? What do you think, Quad?
I think Steve Lou's a thin-skinned little bitch, for starters. Is that a good starter? He spirals. He's like a female, dude. He just shows up and he fucking melts down everywhere he goes. He'll do good for a minute. He'll do good for a week or two, and then he'll have a meltdown. He'll come into a Discord and start a fight with someone, or like he can't help himself, dude. He's like mentally deranged. I don't really give a fuck. Yeah, you said something today I probably won't forgive you for, Stevie Lou, so you can absolutely go fuck yourself, bitch! You fucking goofy ass looking fucking cunt. Is that a good start?
What was it that I said that
obviously I'm not going to restate it, you fucking retard.
So that's not a great.
No, it's not. You
Not a great
fucking goofy ass egg-headed looking fucking bitch. It ain't a good start, and this is probably how it ends. You cut me off, you know what? You can go fuck yourself. Yeah, you blocked me and shit, dude. What's that all about, you fucking bitch? I tried to call you and say, hey, I'm sorry you got your little wing broken. But apparently you blocked my phone, you blocked me everywhere, so I couldn't even just say, hey, I hope you heal up quick, because you're such a thin-skinned little faggot.
All right. I guess we can let one F curse go, because OJ said it earlier. But please don't use that kind of language on the stream.
Quadfather, why are you?
I'll ask you that. But like,
this
listen,
all
I have
start?
you blocked on my phone, yes, because the last time we spoke on the phone,
you started crying like a little bitch about ski mask stuff. Boo-hoo, you little fag.
Last time we spoke on the phone, you used our conversation as content.
Oh, what did I say? What did I say?
If you want to go back and...
No, I want you to go right now and say, what did I say it was so bad that you're being a thin-skinned little bitch with Lemmy? You came into the chat room being a thin-skinned little bitch, crying. She called you out for being a little crybaby, and you rage quit like a little bitch, like you did in Discord 5 times. I've seen you do it over and over and over. You're a rage quitter. You're a little fucking thin-skinned bitch. You know you are, dude. You can keep spiraling. You can keep saying, oh, I got the hot hand. I'm the views getter. Nobody gives a fuck about that stuff. You're so stupid, dude. You think that actually matters. You are pathetic, dude. Go on MLC. No one gives a fuck about you going on MLC. No one thinks you're a hot hand. The reason you get fucking super chats is because everyone hates your fucking guts. Everybody hates your fucking guts, Stevie, except for maybe like 20, 30 people.
Why is that, Quad? Why?
Not my fucking problem. He'll figure it out in time for himself, but whatever. Go be a locale, because that's what you are. You're not a fucking views getter. You're a fucking locale, dude. That people hate your guts. They watch you because you annoy the fuck out of them. They want to fuck with you. I see I'm looking at your fucking stuff right now, and like all your chats are like making fun of you and shit. It's hilarious. You are hilarious. Smile with that dumb fucking look on your face. You look stupid. Go ahead, say something fucking intelligent now, you fag. I'm here.
Why are you so angry with him though?
Yeah,
dude, today is the day I'm fucking angry with him. He crossed the line today. You could go back and watch it and maybe you'll figure it out for yourself. I'm not saying it.
I'll let you keep spiraling and say that I'm spiraling.
I'm spiraling. I'm gonna go drink my coffee after I leave here because I'm glad I just fucking came in here and told you off because you're a fucking bitch. You're a bitch. Everyone thinks you're a bitch because you are a spiraling, thin-skinned little bitch.
So before what he said today, Quadfather, what was it that?
Not much. I was even nice yesterday, but whatever. I was starting to watch this show today, and then I heard him start to talk.
Tell me how you think you've been nice.
You did the 7 Kevins thing yesterday, and you were like, "Could someone Photoshop this?" And I was like, maybe this would be some goodwill towards Stevie. And I was like, maybe this would give him a little clue that I don't hate his guts. I have no ill will towards him, really.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking. What are you talking about?
The Photoshop thing from yesterday on Twitter. You said, "Can someone make the 7 Kevins thing? Photoshop
what does that have
it."
to do with anything?
Like I was trying to show good will towards you that I don't have like issues with you and like do something nice for you and be like, "Hey, here you go. Here's something." But yeah, and then I come on here today and what did you go on MLC and pretend like you don't know who Lemmy is? What the fuck is that? And then we watch it because it's so amazing to us that you're such a bitch that you're trying to distance yourself from BYB because you are a thin-skinned little bitch and you're sitting there pretending like you don't know who we are. Till Kevin Brandon calls you out and says, "What? You were on that show though, Stevie. Stevie, you were on that show. How could you not know?"
This worked against me the other day.
Sometimes you need to let people vent, though.
When I did that, I thought I was doing the right thing because I know me and Lemmy, I do know all of her details. And I honestly thought by not saying anything about Lemmy, I was doing her a favor by not saying where she lives, like her life. I know all those things. So I honestly thought while I was on MLC, I have no problem with Lemmy, right now. They want to keep bringing up this shit from now. That's like a month and a half, 2 months ago, that Starring John episode. That's all this is about, apparently. But I do have to say that when I was on MLC the other day, when I was put on the spot to start talking about Lemmy, out of respect to Lemmy, I just played dumb. And if that gets me in trouble right now with Kevin, I'm fine with that. I'll go right on the line and say that for 100%. I did that to try to be, like not dragging her, because that's not cool. So.
Yeah, but then you brought her up today on your stream, and then you said personal information about her. This is such a douche move, dude.
I did what?
Yeah, I'm not going to fucking spell it out for you. Like, you can go back and watch what you said, because apparently you don't know what kind of shit you say on your own stream. Okay. Maybe you need to lay off the fucking... I
think he's talking about the fact that I said that Lemmy has a child. And again, she's said this on air before, and the only reason why I brought that up is because this is why I'm being attacked. Is because I have a wife that I brought up on air. So these people are using this as ammo and a target that's okay for people to go after my wife. But because I've talked about her on air, that's what I said before. So like, Lemmy said her situation and her family situation on air before. She like went on BYB once from her mother's place. So I could talk about that. I think her mother may have even come on air with us. OJ.
Is that what he's
So
talking about?
I don't know. He's being real weird and cryptic. I'm sure this is great. I'm like allowing this to go on right now because it kind of is showing my point, you know. So, you know,
What's showing your point? That you have none?
no,
You
you're
have
the
no
one who
point.
won't say. You won't even get your actual reasoning out, and it's kind of bizarre.
I'm not going to say it.
You know?
I'm just going to leave it.
Well, all right. Then I guess this didn't work out too well.
Well, hold on a second. So I'm not sure. I really don't even know what he said, Quadfather. But I mean,
he was here the whole time too. So,
but whatever he said,
that doesn't make it change. So
right,
whatever.
right. But I mean, is this not? You guys are not going to be able to work this out. I mean, are you guys, going to hate each other from here on out over whatever it is? Because I'm still not sure.
Listen, they're going to use it for content. He'll continue to do.
No, actually, I'll probably stop talking about you like I did with Joey C. Like you were saying like I went to war with. Yeah, I did. I haven't talked about him in a couple of months because he's irrelevant like you are. So I'll probably stop talking about you too because I absolutely will force you out of my mind because you're such a little bitch.
I'd like to see you try, buddy.
Yeah, you're playing the game like you think you're the hot hand, like anyone gives a fuck about you. I'll fucking stop covering you 100% because you're just a locale, dude. Fuck you.
Yeah, give it a try, man. There's a lot of stuff you need to try out. And being honest.
Yeah, I'll just go back to doing my show. You're not an important part of anything in the Devilverse. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. All right. So.
I mean, yeah, you go on MLC and you do a bunch of irrelevant stuff. Who cares? No one cares about your works. No one cares about your little bullshit stuff you try to do. You think it's funny. No one else is fucking entertained, bitch.
What about the stuff you do behind the scenes?
Oh, what about the stuff you do behind the scenes? Are you hanging out in Discords? Oh, no. Do you hang out in Discords? You used to hang out in Discords till you got yourself thrown out because you're such a thin-skinned little bitch. You couldn't just hang out and be a friend. You had to be, like, weird and do works.
No.
Because you always are doing works. It doesn't matter if
you can't be thin-skinned and thrown out of a Discord. It's not how it works. You don't get thrown out by being thin-skinned. One of the moderators, Ian Hawk, was having an issue with me, and he tried to use some other bullshit excuse to say that's why I'm banning him right now. That's why I was kicked out of the Discord. So not because I was thin-skinned. It's because one of their moderators, Ian Hawk, was having a personal issue with me, and he used his moderator status and his issue with me to say, fuck him, get him out of here. So it's weird how he wants to put it that I'm a thin-skinned bitch and all this, but the reality of it is completely off. So again, I'm letting this guy spiral down the toilet. And you know what? Like, I'm just going to leave these guys in my rearview mirror. Just leave him in my rearview mirror, OJ, and let them. He's not going to not cover me anymore. Okay. Like, you see how much thrill this brings him. So, if I could do this for people's lives,
I'm happy to. Sure where all this hate.
Yeah. Ask him again. Cause I'm like sitting here just.
I'm just fired up today because of what you said, but yeah, dude, you did leave. You left NLO and Spurgtopia Discords. And I believe you were booted. I was there the day you fucking spiraled out. So is it true or is it not true you hung out with Ian Hawk through all of your supposed issues with him trolling and stuff? I know you were around that time that you say he was trolling. So you were fine with it then, but not now, huh?
Ian Hawk,
like now that things are in the rear view for you,
he's got to stop doing the thing where he's talking over. He's calling me a talk over, but you like, I don't know how this is going to work.
No, I mean, things are different now, right?
So Ian Hawk is a complicated guy who.
But you had no problem with him when you hung out with him, and then all of a sudden now you.
So Ian Hawk had StevieLouComedy.com. He was running StevieLouComedy.com, and he was having it mirrored to like fentanyl websites, and all sorts of fucked up shit. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you didn't know that?
That's not funny, but
no,
it kind of is.
Yeah, so Ian Hawk had.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because he is that crossing the line? I guess not. Technically, you know what I mean? Like, that is kind of fucking with my business and my side stuff. But yeah. I honestly was like, I can't. Honestly, like, shit like that, I use that as a joke in live. Like, whenever, what are you up to these days? I'd start telling them about the YouTube and what I'm doing with MLC. And they're like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm making a few bucks, having a good time. But there are also these crazy trolls that are harassing me. And they go, what do you mean? And I go, well, here's an example. Go to StevieLou.com right now, StevieLouComedy.com, and see what comes up. You know what I mean? And they'd go and they'd see and they'd be like, what the fuck? And they'd be like, yeah, some guy out there hates me so much that this is what he's gone to do, So at first that was kind of like, okay, this guy Ian Hawk is a motherfucker and he wants to do weird shit. And then I guess at one point he had a reckoning, a change of heart. And when I did the boxing match, he said, if Stevie Lou actually goes through with this boxing match, because a bunch of people were saying I was a coward and I wasn't going to do it. He said, if you go through with the boxing match, I'll give you Stevie Lou Comedy back. So he did give me that back. And at that point, I was like, all right, I can reestablish my thoughts on this guy, even though he can do some dumb shit. Maybe I'll give him a second chance and let it ride. So I don't know if that's the explanation. And why the fuck does he care so much? Quadfather, that's like bizarre to start being like a little fucking.
Is he still back there? I don't know why.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Yeah. Bring him back on. Come on.
He keeps, if he keeps asking questions and then screaming and stuff when I try to answer, I'm not going to be able to really make that work, So
I don't know if he was screaming the last time. He did start off a lot. Look good. He was really amped up, but
no, he's been screaming nonstop. And whenever he tries to have a back and forth, he starts screaming again, Flat Cat. So if you think that's a way to have conversations, I don't know. So here we go.
Yeah, you just put everyone to sleep. So I guess you're going to have to bring me back now to wake them up.
Can I talk?
I don't know. Can you? You just fucking talked for 5 minutes and didn't say anything. Go ahead, keep doing it.
You have no comedic timing or instinct. You don't have it yet, buddy. I don't know why you think you do, but
why do you think you're a better comedian than Ray? That's the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. You're not even a comedian. Everyone says that you're not funny, dude. Everyone says that. No one has ever said Stevie Lou is funny on BYB. I've never heard that one time.
OJ, do you hear what he's saying right now?
Nobody thinks you're funny. Are you serious? Just like you're a better filmmaker than fucking Liam, right? Same thing like that. Like, you're a joke, dude. Nobody thinks you're fucking funny. Nobody thinks you're an accomplished anything.
Never made a film.
Nobody thinks you're good at anything.
What are you talking about Liam
dude.
for? Talk about yourself, buddy. Just talk about us right now. Why are you spiraling still and jumping all over? Talk about what's really wrong and stop fucking just what Chad accused you of.
You got thin-skinned. You blocked me.
You're just
because of the ski mask shit, dude.
You're just repeating points that you've heard before. That's all you are. You got nothing, buddy. You're saying
this is personal. I just said personal stuff. You blocked me because you were mad at me because I went on Ski Mask show and I wasn't gonna be loyal to you over him. That's what your problem was. So then you blocked me like a thin-skinned little bitch, like I pointed out earlier.
Ski Mask was attacking my family, my wife.
Boo-hoo! Everyone gets attacked. Everyone knows who your family is. All this shit's out there. My family's been attacked.
What happened when your daughter was being attacked?
Exactly. All right, you're going to bring up my daughter. This is why I'm pissed about you. I've never said I had a daughter on screen, you fucking idiot.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
I may have said I have a kid. I have never said I had a daughter, you fucking retard.
So it's okay to talk about other people's families, but not yours.
I'm going to talk about your family a lot now, motherfucker.
Okay, threaten me. Like I'm scared of
you. Your stupid ass fucking, you stupid ass bitch wife.
Wait, how did it come to this? I'm so confused. I cannot figure this out.
Flat Cat, should I put him back on? Should I put him back on, Flat Cat? So you could say that? Was that a good idea, darling? I'm sure that hopefully you're happy with what you're asking for, because now he just left. So, hey, OJ, was I in the wrong here at all? Please tell me if I was wrong here and doing.
I'm trying to figure this all out. Yes, you both were in the wrong. Here's how you were in the wrong from my perspective. You were taking a lot of shots at him earlier. You were calling him names. I don't remember specifically.
Exactly, because I wasn't really, man. I wasn't really. No, I was keeping it vanilla, man. I was keeping it very objective. I thought I was keeping it
I don't know
objective.
about
I could be a dickhead, and I started to do it at the end by saying he's not funny and he has no timing and he has no fucking actual concept of being entertaining and how to run a show. He just fucking pulls clips up and brings as many people as he can on the show with him. That's it. And people have left that sphere of his. I'm not the only one. Okay, Mr. A used to be on the show. What happened to Mr. A? Let's get Mr. A on to talk about his experience with Derek. Okay? Fuck, I need to get Bobby Nick on. Bobby Nick is 1 foot out the door over there already. He's already doing his own shows the same time that BYB is on. As soon as that door is finally closed with Bobby Nick, I'll get Bobby Nick on over here to straighten this fucking shit out because that dude has lost it. That guy, Derek, has lost it, man. And this kind of fucking maniac behavior is indicative and just a very small microcosm of some of the shit that I've had to deal with recently. And, you know, I'm glad that this happened because I got nothing to sweat here whatsoever. All the sweating, all the screaming, all the freaking out was happening on his end.
Well, that did not go the way I wanted it to. I'm sure a lot of people really enjoyed that listening to this, but I was hoping for.
Yeah, he had nothing. He had nothing but childish insults.
Yeah,
it was buddy. Come on. He had nothing but childish insults. You know.
Sometimes
he turned into Chad. He turned into Chad.
He
turned into a Grindle Chad, which is the worst kind of thing to be. I've never seen you be funny once on BYB. All right, buddy. Okay. All right. You know, that's wild for him to say, you know. Why was it so bad for me to not come on BYB all the time anymore? But I never said nothing funny. He's just being butthurt, and that's very clear. And I feel bad for him, man. He's probably in a tough spot or something, and it's a shame he wants to lash out at me. But I'm a man. I could take it. Did you see me fucking say anything out of line here while he was on air, man? I don't think so. I'll let him have his fucking say, and it was all a bunch of fucking hot air. So.
Well, I was hoping you would have let him stay on.
He left. He left. And when he was saying
he left because, well, you did keep booting him off. You know,
well, because he was not being fair with what he was saying. He called my loved one some nasty stuff there. That's a line that I'm not going to have crossed here, you know, because she's probably watching too. You know what I mean? So when he's saying that sort of stuff directly at my loved one like that, my wife, that's a line that's crossed. We get that, right? We can agree, right? At the end there, what he was saying about my wife, that's cool. That's all right.
I don't think it's cool, but I also think that it's not. It's just, you know, sticks and stones, man.
Shit, maybe I should have Lucas of the Bind on. I'm going to send Lucas of the Bind the link right now since I got an audience, and I know Quad wouldn't like that. And if we're being real truthful about how things have been going, maybe I'll send Lucas the link and see if he wants to come on air and talk about some of the experiences he's had with Quad Father. What do you think about that? Should we do that?
Well, I'm going to probably bounce anyway. If you're going to do, but if you're doing that, no, I don't want to be a part of this. I was trying to.
Hey, yeah. All right. We'll pump the brakes. Thank you. This is why you've been doing it for a while and why you're in the spot that you're in on Tookie Soup, which airs whenever he can on the weekdays, I guess. Sometimes Wednesday night. Is that when the usual slot?
Yeah, you never know with Tookie. Unfortunately, Tookie is the time slots up in the air, just depending on, you know, when Tookie has to work his real job. So
10 a.m. Eastern, BeDabbling live. One of the hottest shows on the internet, in my opinion. So, dude, this has been a blast. I think I will absolutely let you go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. You gave me way too much time. I owe you one for sure. And I appreciate what you tried to do there. But some people just want war, you know? Here,
I still think it could be worked out. I still think you guys, if you guys just maybe talked on the telephone instead of doing it on the stream, I think it could maybe be worked out. But that's just my opinion.
Listen, Okay. What I'm going to say is what we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach. So you get what we had here today, which is the way he wants it. Well, he gets it. And I don't like it any more than you, man. Scene. Thank you. Thank you, OJ. You're a sweetheart. Folks, follow Obnoxious John. Support all he does. Hit that Tookie super chat as hard as you can. I'll see you on the other side, buddy.
All right. Peace, Matt.
The wonderful Obnoxious John. Look at that. I'm like steel toe. I guess you could say I was having a rocky time this episode. I guess you could say. I guess you could say that this episode got. It was when I had the Quad Father on. It was a rocky time. Oh man, I guess you could take. I guess you could say I wish I had Mick in my corner because it was a rocky time with Quad Father today. Thank you very much, Balls Deep moderator, throwing up Obnoxious John's link up there. Thank you. Good job, OJ. Happy Saturday. Look at that. Some people want Total War. BeDabbler's channel. Yeah, movie quote. Good one. Let's check in back up here because, oh my God, look at this. Number one Josh Denny fan says Quad was 100% right because you know that the person who screams the loudest is always the rightest. Tiny Chad, Simpy Stevie, big time simp. Decline host, another guy who's not only been a big time supporter of me, right? Decline host says the Quad's making excellent points. Yeah. Whenever pressed about him, couldn't follow up though. So Flat Cat Jessica says it would have been nice if Derek was calmer. Now I'm the one who's been accused of being the thin-skinned one who's wanting to shout over everybody. I don't think that was it. And you know, when he's screaming shit about my wife, nasty shit. I didn't say anything nasty about his daughter. He's the one who's clearly got shit there, and that sucks, man. You know, because he's one who likes to cross lines with families and stuff. And whenever that's happened back to him, I've always had his back. And then shit. Now, when my wife gets fucking brought up, it's okay. But when his family does, it's a problem. Man, that's just a very, very strange world to have to live in. It ain't me, babe. Whoa, no, it ain't me, babe. It ain't me looking for. Yeah, so Orange from KB. Toxis, cis white male fat says, I don't need your civil war. Very nice, sir. Very nice. Maybe I'll listen to Use Your Illusion. I think that's one, right? Is that one or two? Is that one or two? Civil War. That's two. Shit. Not as big of a GNR fan as I probably look. Wasn't my era. Here we go. Stevie lose. Do 3 more hours. I got diarrhea and have nothing to do. Jesus Christ. Doom is saying that was the cringe of the week. Cringe of the week? I don't think so. I think that was boring. You know, but I'm not one to back down from a challenge. And it's like, hey, this guy wants to come on and scream at you and be a fucking cunt. Let him be. Let him be. Let him be. And yeah, I do stand by that. He is absolutely dog shit when it comes to leading a show and being funny, going for the instinctually funny stuff. He never gets it. And I know he was saying that I'm not the funny one today, so I don't want to sound like I'm just fucking trying to parrot his bullshit. But all right, Quad, I was never funny on BYB. I'm sure. Yeah, let's do that, please. Everybody hit the like button. This one is going to be a hot one. If you didn't watch live, you're going to want to watch later. Had a whole hissy fit. Somebody had a hissy fit on the air live today. So that was a lot of fun. I guess, man, some people got to get it out of them sometimes. Get that evil out of you. So, yeah, I don't know what OJ was laughing about there. Maybe the Civil War quote or the, Cool Hand Luke quote. And now this is checking in from Crumb. I don't want to lash on this hard, but he says that we did know that, you know. It's such a confusing place to have to navigate when you got people who, like, you know, want to use stuff against you, but then don't want that same sort of shit used against you, man. Can't have it both ways, folks. It's either all in or all out. Van Hammersley says Rocco has to take care of his responsibilities at the Geese factory before he can stream. Okay. Josie Wells says KB does not care about Stevie. He thinks he's respected guest on MLC. Okay, Stevie. When did I say that I'm a respected guest on MLC? I'm the utility tool. I'm that guy who gets fucking tossed in when he needs. I'm fine with that. I know that. I'm not a big name. What do you think? I think that I'm a big name? No. I know that I can do it. I've done it before. I'll do it again. You've seen a lot of people try. You get a chance to come on MLC once, maybe twice, like Quadfather, and you kind of do all right. But believe me, see Quadfather try to go on MLC and try to hang like I do. Not only sometimes once a week, sometimes twice a week. He's fucking full of himself if he thinks that he can hang in the same fucking spaces that I can. And I don't think that I'm big full of myself here because I'm not acting like I'm a superstar, but I can do it. And just like Chad says to me, you never did this. You can't say you've done this. I guess I can pull that card right now and say it to Quadfather, you know, doing your little BYB show. It's different. It's different than what I do. And good luck to you, buddy. Scream and shout and spit and curse my whole family. You're just some dude on the internet that has no influence on my life whatsoever. I'm going to live my life. Should I do a dabby? I feel like I'm deserving of a dab. I feel like I worked hard today. This was like a fucking shift at some point. Let's do a little dabber do. Thank you very much to Balls Deep and Flat Cat. That's fine if you disagreed with me taking out Derek there a few times, but honestly, I got to the point where I was like, this can't work if he's going to be able to start going unchecked at all. He did drop the F word twice. I'm going to have to try to go take that out, I guess, because we don't ever encourage or promote any sort of hate speech on this show and never will. You know, I have to stand by that. If things are said out of pure hate, which he was using those words out of hate, he wasn't being funny about it, and I'm not looking to be a victim. I'm just saying there are rules on YouTube, and he was absolutely trying to break the rules today out of his own poor judgment. That's all I'll say, you know, and I got to start muting when that's happening. And then again, he's attacking my direct family, loved ones. I didn't attack his family at all. He can say that I'm attacking him with his family, but I didn't. I'll stand by that. So again, one of these situations where people want to start making up shit to try to use in some bullshit against me, and you're just gonna fucking sit by yourself in that fucking single cell prison of your fucking mind, and I'm gonna keep doing my thing, man. So I'm sorry to you. Yeah, all right. We're not talking about the kids anymore. I guess that got intense. I don't know, maybe. Stevie better than Ray. I don't know if I'm better than Ray. We're different. We're absolutely different. Why was Quad standing for that Lemmy guy anyway? Lemmy is a girl, and I don't know. He's got this whole... He's got to find an angle to come at me from, and he came at me from all different ones. I would say, Quad, if you're going to have to regroup and try to come with one unified reason for not liking me, not a bunch of horseshit, you know? Because you were just spouting shit out your ass, and it just had no purpose. Wasn't entertaining. People like it because you're spazzing. The people that don't like me like it because they wish they were here doing what you could do. So I get it. It's completely harmless and toothless, though, because it's nothing that I haven't heard in some sort of troll chat before. Nothing new here at all from him. Just horseshit. So if he ever wants to come back on and try to get a hold of himself, maybe take a chill pill or whatever he needs, go to church, say a prayer, come back and try to talk about this a little more even keeled, I'm down. I tried to be even keeled there. I tried, man. I absolutely tried. Tiny Chud, this is quite a statement. Stevie is absolutely polluted and morally bankrupt by CIA music. Tiny Chud, I do believe I saw you posting on my Twitter this week, and I love it. I was talking about Jefferson Airplane, and you were screaming at me about the Beatles and saying that that's all mind control music, and I'm fucking with it. I'm here for that. We could get into that. We should do a classic psychedelic rock episode where we can talk about Pink Floyd, the Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane. There's a lot of stuff to talk about with CIA mind control undertones. You didn't let him be. You moshed it. Yeah, it's moshed. It's definitely not squashed. It looks like it's moshed. So, okay. Melton show will be on Lemmy. I don't know what that means. And also, dang lizard, we never got the fucking song, dude. Let me check my Twitter here. Damn it. Okay. If you guys could, dang lizard, please send me over that song that you sent to OJ that you made for me at Stevie Lou is back. I don't think I got you blocked or anything. Okay, running here towards the end, almost hitting 4 hour. This may be the longest I've gone. But I'm here for you. Kind of in a post insanity episode. It is pouring rain in New York City. It's been pouring rain all day. So this is kind of like I got nowhere else to go right now. I got nowhere else to go. Officer and a Gentleman. Maybe I will watch a good flick after this. Throw some suggestions for what I should watch. I got a whole long list of what I do need to watch and what I want to watch. Okay. Shit. I got to watch the end of ISS. I watched this movie last night. I just remembered I watched half of this film last night. And what I saw was pretty fucking good. It was PF to the G. Let's pull this up. Yeah. This one here. Yeah, it's from Bleecker Street Productions. ISS stands for the International Space Station, as we all know. And the premise for this is 2 astronauts go up to the International Space Station for the first time and meet the ISS Russian and American counterpart team. And while they're up there, World War III happens on Earth. And it basically turns into a Twilight Zone episode on steroids. So I'll leave it at that. I watched about halfway through and then I forget why I turned it off, but I wanted to watch the rest of it. So I will watch the rest of it. It did start off pretty good. I'll see how it finishes up. I was feeling real ADD brained last night and I couldn't focus on nothing. So I will try to give that a watch and then maybe something else after. Ed GN says he doesn't care. They're trashing my kids. Yeah, man. Jesus Christ. Somebody went all stuttering John on us today. Okay. So send OJ the link via Discord. Oh, fuck. But send a I don't know. All right. We'll get it up some other time. What is this about? This fucking loser out of here. What is even this in reference to? I don't even know. Make a clip out of that, Citizen M. Another guy who was involved with the whole Ian Hawke, Dabblestorian, weirdo crew who, like to cross lines, like to do things that are borderline illegal. So, hey, do it for your own fun. I think I'm completely run out of steam at this point. I do want to kind of hit a 4-hour stream. That would be fun, even if I have to cheat a little bit. So I may just throw some song on here. Let me see if I could find something that I wanted to play before. Fuck. What did I want? Okay. Yeah. Hopefully this won't get me dinged. It might. But this will be a good way to wind down with some real good free-form space jazz rock. Yeah? On a rainy Sunday. I guess if you guys want to get any final thoughts in before I go, chat is open. Oh, look at that. Great timing. Looks like somebody else is on. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is going to talk about me. Because I am Stevie Views. So I don't even know. Stevie Lou story. Should team up with Joey C. Joey C's been, chirping at my window. Wants to work, I think. Thank you, Cut of the Jib. Wants me to get some rest. I do need some rest. This fucking rainy weather too. This shit does not feel good for the bones. And then looks like number one Josh Denny wants me to get some eternal rest. So let's see both sides of the coin here, folks. You know, I think Cut of the Jib says he likes me. He thinks I'm funny. He likes me. He thinks I'm funny. He doesn't hate my guts. So, did I say Sunday? Jesus Christ, it's Saturday. Thank God. And yes, good old Ed GN, who I just figured out how to pronounce your name. All right, let's get to it. What do we want to play here? We're going to go to a very epic moment in Disco Biscuit history known as the Akira Jam. So basically what happened was the Disco Biscuits played the movie Akira on a big screen and played freeform, their own soundtrack, if you will, to the film for a live performance on New Year's Eve in Philadelphia on 1999, December 31st, 1999. So we will play us out with the Akira Jam from the Disco Biscuits. It's been great hanging with you folks. I'm like bobbing my head right now because I'm listening to it in the background. Fuck. Pull it up. There we go. This has been LEWKIE Soup. We had an eventful one, didn't we? Make sure you check out MLC later tonight. Who knows? Maybe I'll be on. Thank you very much, Cut of the Jib. You're a good dude, too. Black Cat, cheers. Safe trip back home. I don't know what that even means. Dang, Lizard brings up a good point. That's the interesting part about the Hackverse is everybody telling themselves they're better than someone else in the Hackverse. You know, we had that on display tonight. This quad thinks he's better than me. You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me? Woohoo! Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yes, Decline host. This is Gay Clown Music. fuck, I fucked that up. Fuck. Fucked up again. Damn it. Three minutes until 4 hour mark. So get him in while you can. And looks like Magic's starting in a few minutes. So. Barry Ribs is a legend. I consider Barry an actual friend. Wild episode. You guys have been a dream. Thank you. Love you. Good night.